Oh, I think we're live. Wait, I got it. I got it. There's never a cue. I got it ready. Do you ever feel like calling it
No,
now?
I am
Where
also
you
singing.
pick a
It's
phone and you
this is
call
the
us
place
now? Do
where the
you
people
ever
don't know
feel
about the
like
science and
calling
they
it
call
now? Wait, I got
into
it.
the
Jovan
show
and
where you
Forrest,
have
and
two
I'm
hosts
calling
and
people.
both of them
And here
like
we
to
go
read,
now.
and
And
then you
so we're
don't have
calling in,
people
and the
like to
MAGA
read,
people
picking
gonna
up the
get their
phone and
asses
talking
blasted.
about
That was
science that they don't
just a
understand.
little
I
zesty,
don't have
but I do not
a
care.
melody. I'm just
You
jumping
just
all over the
gotta
place. You actually have like a whole Katy Perry
ignite
vibe.
the light and
No,
let
no,
it
don't sing.
shine.
No,
Just
or fuck you,
out the
Skylark.
night
Not the
like the
chorus,
4th of
please.
July. Hey guys, what's up?
It's
Welcome to
Kimmy
Calling It
or a
Now.
firework. Yeah, dude. Hey, this is the
Wait,
show.
that song low key is a banger.
It's a really good song.
Welcome to Calling It Now, everybody.
Hey.
Is this a second show in a row with no Jimmy? Thank
I mean,
God.
everyone hopes so. Welcome to this. You tuned into this, and I feel like the beginning of the show is a great indication of what the rest of the show will be. Just two content creators being obnoxious and talking to
True.
people who don't like us. Welcome to
True.
the show.
True. Me and Forrest are going to be unrelent. Oh no. I'm on the last phases of my cough.
uh,
So if I don't get it out before a sentence starts, you're gonna have a moment like that where I just absolutely mid-sentence lose my mind. Anyway, 336-543-2101 is the number to call if you want to debate us. Hey, MAGA,
yeah.
let's talk. Me and Forrest have some thoughts on you, MAGA.
So we got opinions and stuff here on the internet. Who knew? People on the internet have opinions and are going to shout them into the void, and
Straight up.
thousands of people will watch, and nobody will be happy.
Straight up.
Oh man.
I have a couple of topics on my side. One being Trump failed in Iran, especially after fucking today, I think it was either today or yesterday, where he's like, well, we're going to blockade the strait. We're going to stop anyone from going in the strait. And I'm like, Iran already closed the strait.
Right.
They said no. We want to talk about how if you're anti-trans, you're actually anti-science. We have a whole scientists. Guys, Forrest is a legit scientist, and I'm what's the name of a scientist who isn't a scientist, but like feels like a scientist sometimes?
You know what? I would call you. I think scientist is fine because the actual definition of the word scientist is a person who is studying or has expert knowledge in science. And so, like, if you're I think students who are like in there, like doing a program, studying science, they're scientists, they're young scientists, they're fresh scientists, they're new scientists, whatever like that. So if you're actually applying the scientific method and like doing some actual research and really caring about whether or not what you believe is true and following the evidence wherever it leads, even if it's uncomfortable, I think you can call yourself a scientist, bro. I think that's fine.
You guys heard it here first. I'm officially a scientist.
There you go.
Woo! Also, I want to just tell you guys that Christianity is wrong. If you want to talk to us about why you think Christianity is right, we'll tell you it's not. It's wrong. It's not only wrong to practice, but it's wrong to believe.
It really is like if we could hammer down several things. Like what I've got on the screen from my side over here is MAGA is anti-science. You have a variety of things on your side.
Yeah.
But I think definitely like Christianity is wrong and the God of Christianity is evil. I think we can agree on that, and we can have that be a thing. Capitalism is poop. It's poop. And that's a thing that we could put out there.
Should I add that? I'll add that.
It's yes, and capitalism is poop from a butt. And
I won't put it in those exact words, but
no, put it in those exact words. That's the way to do it.
That'll be the game today. Figure out what sound is coming from Forrest soundboard and which one is coming from mine.
MAGA is anti-science in general, not just with trans people, but like I love the common MAGA gotcha on threads right now that I'm seeing a ton. It's like, you Democrats are always trust the science unless it comes to sex and gender, XX and XY. I was like, first of all, bitch, miss me with that shit. You didn't fucking pass biology past the 6th grade. Anybody can tell you how sex and gender are different things. This is really fucking simple shit. It's in introductory biology textbooks. But also, don't try to lecture me on my standard of science when you're over here not believing in climate change, not believing in vaccines, not believing that fucking old growth forest and environmental protection is a good thing to protect and preserve. I don't know what the fuck the shape the earth is in your head. Like, I can't deal with that shit. So
Lux has a really great argument on the COVID shit that I just heard from it literally on Thursday, where where it said somebody was arguing with us about COVID and said it was planned to like kill us all. And then Lux was like, well, if that's the case, why didn't you take precautions? If you think that it was planned to kill us, why wouldn't you wear a mask? Why wouldn't you quarantine, do all that stuff? And I was like, that's a good argument.
My favorite one is when people talk about how the vaccines were meant to kill people. Like, anyone who gets the vaccine is going to die in this amount of time. Like, that goes against your big evil government narrative. The vaccine should work. If the government's trying to do population control, they want the people who believe their narrative to survive. Why would they want the only people who survive to be the renegades who distrust the government and refuse the vaccine? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it's just, But again,
I've noticed Threads has gotten bad with vaccine stuff lately.
Yeah, it has. Science deniers don't fucking think, and that's why I love inviting them on shows like this, because it's hilarious to watch them try to think live on air. And man, Reds has gotten bad. NASA recently joined, and there are a lot of threads that I've been seeing of like, hey, women in STEM, what's your STEM field? And any one of those threads and any thread that NASA posts or like that, it's a great place to go follow a lot of people and kind of like clean up your algorithm a little bit. You know what I mean? So do that, because I've been getting more cool science shit since I've been going through and just following every woman scientist I can. It's been pretty tight. We've got lines open right now. We already have people calling in right now. What the fuck with the... we already have some interesting calls coming in right now. That's neat. But the number's still on the screen, 336-543-2101. Pick up that phone and call in to two atheist, leftist, science-y boys who would love to talk to you about whatever thing whatever Newsmax told you mad about today.
And I will tell you guys why birds are not dinosaurs as I drink from my Jurassic Park cup.
I will actually... You're in Florida, right? That's not too far for me to come and like slap you about the face and neck with my dick. I don't think that you can substantiate that argument, and I don't think anybody else can either.
If we ever get the live LineCon off the ground, like the in-person LineCon, that needs to be an event. Is Jovan and Forrest finally have the dinosaur debate? But it's just gonna be 45 minutes of me rage baiting Forrest.
And me explaining in great detail evolutionary biology and what dinosaurs are. Everyone will benefit except for me. Yeah, everyone will have a great time and everyone will learn something, and I will be just furious and giving away a free lecture, and it'll be great.
You're one of those people that fell for the whole feather dinosaur bit too. It's okay. We can't all be correct.
We have trace fossils, Jovan. It's just so you know, we have trace fossils. For anybody who wants to know about trace fossils, we actually...
That's got to be an RFR goal. The dinosaur debate. Let's bring on a call for us. While we do, you can think of why your argument is bad.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about stuff with people. First call is going to be Cameron, who is listed here as a centrist, pronouns he, him, who wants to talk about narcotic legislation. What a wild way to start the show. Hey, Cameron, you're on the line with Forrest and Jovan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Hey, before we get too deep, Forrest, you're a little quiet compared to the caller. I don't know if that's on your end or on Luthion's end.
I just turned mine up a little bit, if that helps anything.
There we go. Yeah, that helps a lot.
Cool. Sick.
All right, continue.
Okay, well, I just wanted to know your opinions about narcotic legalization and whether you think it's a good thing.
You want to start?
I personally, I'm for decriminalization. I don't necessarily lean over to the legalization part yet because I don't want the government profiting off of a substance that they've used to harm minority groups for so long. But I'm 100% for decriminalization. I don't think anybody should go to prison for using, purchasing, or possessing narcotics because all three of those are victimless crimes.
I feel the same way. Like I understand that, like, the argument of saying that the narcotics industry inherently has, if you want to take it to say, like, there are victims in these crimes because the narcotics industry is this underground thing and there's a lot of violence involved, and so eventually if you fund it, that money somehow trickles down to hurting some kid or buying some buddy a gun who doesn't need a gun. But that's literally the exact same thing you talk about shopping at Walmart, or if you buy Nestle chocolate, you are somewhere down the line supporting slave labor. And so, like, I get the vibe of, like, why you wouldn't want to buy into that, and that's why I think that decriminalization is a great place to start. Treating substance abuse and addiction as the diseases that they are, giving people resources not only to use safely, but also to get clean and to get the help that they need while they're doing so. Clean needle programs save lives. Places to go and do these things safely and in secure locations save lives, and also are a great place for people to get the help that they need while they're there in judgment-free zones. And then we can move into maybe down the line having the conversation about complete legalization, because who cares what you choose to put in your own body, but that's a whole other thing.
Okay, well, about decriminalization, I noticed one of you said that using narcotics is victimless. Unless I'm misrepresenting what you said that using narcotics is a victimless crime.
I was muted. Shit, that was me. Yeah, just really quick, the use of, the ownership of, and the purchasing of narcotics are all victimless crimes.
Okay, so let's say I go out and I buy heroin and I get, like, hopelessly addicted to it. I'm not a victim of drug use?
In crimes, you can't victimize yourself. In crimes, you cannot victimize yourself. So you might be a victim of addiction, but you're not a victim of a crime because you can't victimize I can't steal from myself. I can't murder myself. I can't commit Grand Theft Auto on myself.
Okay, that's interesting. But let's say, hypothetically, right? Let's say that a drug abuser is arrested for possessing a Schedule I narcotic that they obviously didn't get legally. Let's say that we then interrogate them, and then they say who their dealer was, and then we interrogate the dealer, and then he says who the supplier is. Wouldn't it be better to get these drugs off of the streets so no one can actually use them than to just let anybody
I don't fight. I don't care if adults use illicit narcotics, right? Like I care in the sense of, like, hey, addiction is bad, but they're adults. Like, we keep alcohol on the streets, and alcoholism hurts way more people than drug addiction does. It's just we get to decide which substances are good or bad. There are people who mainline cocaine on Saturday nights and then go the rest of their week not touching a single narcotic. Right.
That's the biggest thing for me. Is
there's
like,
no. What's the line? Go ahead, Forrest.
That's the big thing. Cigarettes and tobacco account for hundreds of thousands of deaths every year, and tobacco. Sorry, cigarettes and tobacco. Fuck me. Cigarettes and alcohol. Tobacco and alcohol. Those are the words that you would say in English if you were trying to make the point that I was trying to make. Tobacco and alcohol account for hundreds of thousands of deaths every single year. Alcohol specifically, has secondary effects as well, with drunk driving and whatnot. Tobacco has secondhand smoke, which hurts people just in your general vicinity. And then we have, marijuana, where people are serving life sentences for carrying around a couple of grams, and no one has ever died from it ever. And so, like, that's the big thing for me, man, is like, if you really want to take a super strong libertarian position on it, I would totally be down for the argument to say, like, nobody can decide what you put in your own body as long as you're not forcing that drug into somebody else. Do what you want to do, kill yourself in the way you want to kill yourself. I want to make sure you have proper education and that you have proper resources to stop using that drug, and that drug use is not encouraged. But the more you talk about getting it off the streets and punishing everybody who has it on their person, all you're doing is driving up the market value because you're making it more rare and difficult to find. And all you're doing is making it more deadly to engage in that trade. And the people around the people who are dealing these drugs, buying these drugs, selling these drugs, producing these drugs, those people and the people around them are getting hurt more and more. And it's just so much easier just to take away that whole legal side of it and just, yeah, you can fucking do it. Nobody cares if you have it, bro. We're here to help you. That's the government's position. And now you no longer have this criminal underground. You no longer have the guns and the dirty money and the shady backroom deals and the rape and the mugging and all the other horrible things go along with this shit that isn't as romantic as what you see on TV. All that is just completely redundant now. You don't need it anymore. It's like, we talk about legalizing marijuana here in Oklahoma. If I want to get high, I don't have to go to some dude's house that reeks like cat pee and watch him pull a fucking baggie out from under his balls and hope that I don't get pulled over on the way home. I just go to a dispensary and nobody cares. It's fine. And if I drive while high, I still get arrested for DWI. Still a problem. If I go to work while high, I still get arrested. I still get fired for going to work while I'm fucked up. Exact same consequences as usual. There just isn't that criminal aspect to having it, using it, anything like that. That's kind of the vibe.
Yes, but narcotics are uniquely visceral in their health effects, right? So let's say, for example, I could smoke 80 cigarettes and drink like half a handle of liquor, and I'll be incredibly intoxicated, and I might not be able to breathe. But if I snort 80 grams of cocaine, I'm going to die.
Sure.
Right, like cigarettes and alcohol are not as unique in their
if you snort a little bit of cocaine, you won't die. And if you smoke more cigarettes or drink more alcohol, you will. Yeah. You picked an arbitrary number that makes one of them deadly and the other one not. Everything has an LD50, even water. So at the end of the day, keeping this away from children and keeping this as a thing that we educate people on is so much more important than just telling everybody you'll go to jail forever if you use this and tearing their families apart, especially considering the fact, what Jovan brought up earlier, the fact that the government has been profiting off of that for a very long time. So, like, it's just not effective the way that it is, and it's only benefiting the government.
Yeah, but there's just this last thing that I want to touch on is that one of you said that it would be perfectly fine and it's not your business if someone wants to overdose on heroin or something, and that they should be able to do that.
No, hold on. Nobody's saying that people should be able to overdose. We're saying that if they want to use drugs, that's their prerogative, right?
I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody wants to... If they die because of it, the people, again, I ask your stance on alcohol. People drink themselves to death all the time. And people get in drunk driving accidents and kill other people all the time. So people who weren't drinking are out there, being killed by people who are drinking. Do you want to completely get rid of all alcohol and bring prohibition back?
No, of course not.
Right. And so
also,
you
Cameron,
have a double standard.
Real quick.
That's bad.
Real quick, how old are you, Cameron?
15 years old.
Ah. Okay. So I apologize to you, Cameron. We do have an age limit on this show. We don't talk to kids who are under 18. So I'm going to have to end the call. I should have asked that earlier. That's my fault. But just so you know, just to round this off, is I encourage you just to question where your limits are on all these things and see if you don't have different standards for different things that are just culturally comfortable for you, as opposed to actually applying a single standard across the board for all these different things.
Well, all right then.
All right. Take care of yourself, Cameron. Thank you for calling in. Call back in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's our fault for not double checking. Usually we ask for the age at the beginning of the call, but we did not, and that's us.
We
Mainly
should probably
Jovan's
ask for
fault.
the age and screen. What the fuck?
Mainly Jovan's fault. If we're being
You
honest.
started
If we're
that
being
call.
very
We should
honest.
probably ask for age in the
Yeah,
screenings. Just
and you also, if we remember correctly, you said let's take some calls, and so that's really your fault out of anybody's. I was gonna just sit here, I was gonna sit here and just talk to you, my friend, who I love. But
this is Black Erasure.
rebuked me and said that we should take calls because you didn't want to just hang out with me because you're a bad friend, and then we had to talk to a 15-year-old about it. Your fault.
This is anti-black behavior.
Let's talk to Edna, and let's find out how old Edna is before we get done the call. Edna, let's talk about God. Edna, you are on the line, and also Jovan's channel, and also This Isn't the Line with Jovan and Forrest. How are you today?
I'm doing marvelous. How are you?
Awesome. I'm awesome, man. Hey, Edna, really quick, can I please get your name? Sorry, your name. God, can I please get your age? I was going to say name, age, and pronouns, and I saw that it's had pronouns already, and I just stopped in the middle of my
And
thought.
a name already, Forrest.
It's a hard day, Edna. It's a bad day for me. I've been up
Age.
all night
You're
writing about
slipping,
hormones.
You guys, you're slipping.
So you got to ask his age.
Yeah. It's, how old are you, Edna?
76.
All right, so just a little bit over 18 then. That's fine.
Just a little bit.
Edna, what can we talk to you about? What's going on?
I listen to you all the time, and I don't know a whole lot about the Bible, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned a lot about the Bible from listening to you. But here's the deal. I don't know a lot about science either. And so my thing is, if I take your word for what's happening with science, why don't I just take the Bible's word for what's happening with God and Jesus and the Bible?
Good question. So the difference is like the immediate response that I want to give is evidence, right? Because that's the thing about science is we don't evidence. We don't just believe stuff because we want to believe it. It actually has evidence backing it up. But at the end of the day, that doesn't really work for somebody who isn't big into science. Like if you didn't go learn a bunch of science in school, didn't want to become a scientist, then that might be really hard to parse through, right? And that might be kind of awkward. So I think what's more important for somebody like you who is just kind of looking at these two things on the same playing field and figuring out what's going on is, does this how do we come to these conclusions, and what do these conclusions do? So, for example, talk about evolution, like my field, right? Evolution, I can sit here and talk to you about the evidence for it all day long. And some creationist grifter can talk to you about like their bullshit evidence for the Bible. But the cool thing about evolution is that, number one, we have a model. We actually have a way that we can say, this is how it works. These are the individual mechanisms. Here's how those mechanisms work. Here's how they work together and interplay in complex ways. Here's what we don't know yet, and here's what we're doing to figure that out. We can actually break this down into fundamentals. You can't do that with the Bible or with God or with creationism or anything like that. It's just God did it, so it happened. And also, more importantly, it is functional. It makes novel, testable predictions. We can say, if evolution is true, the way that we know it is, or the way that we think it is, then we can say these things. We will be able to look in this area and find this kind of fossil, and that's exactly what happens all the time. And we're able to learn new stuff and make predictions that we wouldn't be able to know otherwise about the world using the knowledge that we have. And more importantly, it is that it also functions in our day-to-day lives. The entire agriculture industry is based on evolution, artificial selection, changing crops that we eat and the animals that we eat to make them bigger and tastier and more nutritious and everything. The entire biomedical industry is based on evolution, what we understand about how pathogens change and evolve, based on what we understand about the development of our organs and organ systems and things like that. The entire fossil fuel industry is based on radiometric dating and living in an earth full of long dead organic matter from the Carboniferous period. Not like these are things we can say, if science is true, it works, and we can break it down into fundamental parts and explain it piece by piece. you can do neither of those things with the Bible or with creationism with God. They don't know how God did it. They don't know when God did it. They don't know where God did it. They don't know by what mechanisms God did it. They can't break those things. And they cannot say, well, if the Bible is true and if creationism is true, then we'll find this here. It never happens. It never works. There's no systems in your life that benefit your life on the day-to-day, no industries that are benefiting from, except I guess the religion industry. But like, you can't say, yeah, well, the only reason I have electricity in my house is because Jesus did this, right? It doesn't work. It just, there's no through line there. So that's the best answer that I can give you at this moment, unless you have something to follow it up with.
Well, really quickly before, I just want to say, just to tag on what Forrest said, I do think there's another element here in that science doesn't dictate a prescribed way to live. True. It just sort of describes how living certain ways will affect us, whereas the Bible and religion will prescribe you, this is how you must live. And 9 times out of 10, I disagree with what's being prescribed and what's being told of us, that like things we must do, such as like worship a dude in order to receive eternal happiness, right? Yeah. So like that's part of the other reason why I would be like, science isn't telling us to believe anything necessarily. It's just saying, hey, this is what happens. Whereas religion's like, you have to believe, you have to act this way, you have to do this, you have to. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
Okay, that all makes so much sense. You know, I totally, like I said, I was baptized Christian, but I had very little faith, and I was always afraid to say that I didn't have faith until I started looking at some of your shows. And I want to say, I am so happy that you guys are educating people. But then I get to thinking, or I get to talking to other people, and then they say, well, how do you know they're not duping you too? You know, just like they say the Bible's duping you. And I was like, okay, you got a point there, because I don't know science, you know. I don't know either one. But I'm more leaning on your side. And Jovan, is that right?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. I'm so happy that you're on this show. I haven't heard you much, but I've listened to Forrest a lot, and I'm real impressed with him. And I just hope that I wasn't doing blind faith, you know, going on the science side. I'm so glad I got to talk to you guys. I'm so glad you're doing what you're doing, and I am learning so very much about both the Bible and about science listening to this. And I think if more people would just listen to it with an open mind, and then they can decide for themselves for real, instead of, you know, arguing a point that they don't really have. But thank you for listening to me. Thank you for. I never thought I would get a chance to talk to you guys, and I even wanted to like send in donations, but like you know how old I am.
No,
I'm
don't
not
do that.
good with
don't
the
do
computer and stuff, and I don't know how to do none of that. And if I ask my Christian friends to do it for me, they think I'm crazy.
No, don't send us your money. We don't need it. We're just fine, and we appreciate you tuning in. The best thing that you can do to support this show is just keep on hanging out and participate as much as you want. And I gotta say, I am hit the like button or something. You know, I am so incredibly impressed that you're
all of them that y'all do. And like amazing. I said, Forrest, I listen to you a lot. I listen to Justin. I'm just in awe with Justin's Bible knowledge.
He's
I'm
great.
in awe with your science. And I'm anxious to see more of Jovan.
Jovan's a beautiful man.
Black atheists. Huh?
True. If you're on TikTok, Edna, it's a terrible place. If you're not, I would. But there's a ton there as well. A lot of black atheist creators
I mostly
on TikTok.
use the YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
It's very few 76-year-old people got TikTok.
I figure it's right. Well, I congratulate you. I think it's awesome that you're still out here learning and changing your mind and questioning things. That's incredible. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Okay, I want to be like you when I grow up. You guys have a great day.
Hell
Thanks again.
Bye. You too, Edna.
What an awesome person. That's so
That's a good
cool.
call.
Not
I
just
did
because they flattered
realize,
us, but like the fact that she was like
90%.
up here, like, yeah, it's 90% that, but like the little bit that's left there. What an amazing life to be like 70 something years old. And she's like, you know what, though? I'm going to fucking question the big paradigms that I've been living under this entire time and like start like learning new. That's so cool. That is so cool. Man.
Let me just remind chat though. Hey guys, listen. You know, there's 1,500 of you over watching on Jimmy Snow on the Line, and 21 likes.
Are we that bad?
Y'all don't make me come for your head. There's like 400 of you on my side with 100 likes. Don't make me come for your head. Press the like button if you want us to have actual conversations, so that way we can talk to people. All right?
We have about 2,000 people watching right now, and I've got both chats up over here, and I'm seeing a ton of, especially in your chat, you got a lot of people who are excited to say some shit and not call in. You know what I mean? So like,
they don't want to talk to Forrest. There's somebody who was like, anti-trans is anti-science. Why don't you call in and ask the actual scientist? Oh wait, I'm one too now. Call all of us.
Hi there. I'm a man with too many biology degrees, and I would love to talk to you about trans people. Pick up that phone and call 336-543-2101, and let's discuss it. It'll be a great time.
Okay, apparently I had the like ratio wrong, but now it's at 500. It's at 602 likes. So WU chat.
Also to the Christian in chat who's just up here throwing a bunch of stuff about Jesus. Pick up that phone. We'll talk to you about why Jesus sucks and why your God is evil and why there's no reason to believe in any of it. It would be super
I might talk
easy.
to you about why Jesus doesn't exist.
I mean, that'd be fun.
I keep
flip
flopping on whether I'm a mysticist or not.
To the person in chat right now, says trans people aren't real. Tell me I'm wrong. You're wrong. You're a fucking idiot. Trans people are real. Pick up the phone. Let's talk about it.
What do they even mean when they say that?
They don't know what they mean. They just say things. But pick up the phone. We already have people in the chat. We got people calling in right now, and we've got, it looks like 5 lines still open. Pick up that phone. Let's talk about it. We will go through the science step by step. I will break it down in terms so simple even a Charlie Kirk fan could understand. It'd be so
do I have
fucking
that saved? Do you want to hear the necessary condition that somebody told me the other day?
Mm-hmm.
So funny. Let me see if I saved it. Oh, I don't know if I saved it in a doc. I thought I did. Shit. I might not have saved it. Somebody called in to tell me that they were presented with a necessary condition that they couldn't argue against. I wonder if I can find it.
You fucking lefties pissed me off. You know what you can do about it? You can either scroll away, or if you look around your house and you find a spine laying around, you can pick up the phone and call 336-543-2101 and tell us why. Hey, tell me.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The necessary condition that makes you female and thus makes you woman is the absence of a functional SRY protein in the bipotential gonadal ridge due to lack of an intact functional Y chromosome. Now, I heard all of that and said that's just somebody trying to sound smart.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot there. So what this person, and you said this is what makes someone a woman?
Well, because, you know, in order to them, the necessary condition to be a woman is to be female.
Right. So what this person is trying to do, and if I'm remembering everything you said there, because it was fast, what this person is trying to link chromosomes, genes, gene expression, and developmental pathways. They're trying to do all of these things at once. And hey, good on you for trying to be consistent with all those things. Problem is, you are still excluding a lot of people that you would call women and also including some people that you wouldn't call women. And that's the biggest thing, is that because sex is a multivariate system, you have this issue where you need to find something that is cohesive, that it includes all these factors and also a couple more, but also has the wiggle room necessary. And so this is why these categories, it's like when we talk about species or anything else in biology, really, biology hates definitions. It's not great for us. you always are looking at like big population levels. When you get down to individual levels, there is always variation in just about fucking everything. And so, like, I don't know, man. That's an interesting. At least that person tried to put everything like together in a fun way. Still not gonna cover everything, but hey, it's good for you.
No, not at all.
It was fun.
Let's pull up Rachel from Nevada, calling and telling us that we're gambling with people's souls and doing Satan's work. Rachel,
Hey.
you're on the line with Forrest and Jovan. How old are you, Rachel?
I am 39.
Okay, Rachel, 39. You think we're doing Satan's work, huh?
Yeah, because, I mean, you're literally trying to get other people to not believe in Jesus. And I think that's disgusting. It's
true.
like, oh my God, like, what are you trying to do?
True.
You know?
So here's
Who created
so
Satan, Rachel? Wait, real quick, Forrest.
I'm sorry?
Rachel, who created Satan? Who created Satan
I'm
again?
sorry?
Who created
Sorry, I'm
Satan
not hearing
again?
you. Say that one more time. Who created Satan?
Yeah, who created Satan? Yeah.
Well, I guess God. I'm not sure. I haven't read the
so then
entire Bible.
I'm doing the
working
Lord's
on it.
work. I'm actually doing the Lord's
No.
work then.
Really? That's
Yeah, if
that's
he created
like a mature
Satan,
way of looking at it, but okay.
is it?
That's
He
like
created
that's
Satan.
like a fifth grader's kind of argument, but okay, I get
Is
it.
He created.
No, it's not.
I'll give you a different one whenever Jovan's done because I think I
Oh,
have
go
a
ahead,
totally different. No, I was curious, like Rachel, just so we're on the same page. You understand that we don't think that this God or Satan are real, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. And do you understand that not only that, we don't just ask whether or not God is real, we also ask, like, what kind of person is this God, right? We read the Bible, we've been presented with this story and everything like that, and we're looking at who is God and what kind of person is he and what's his character like, and we have come to the conclusion that the God of the Bible, the God of Christianity, if he exists, is definitely evil, right? Do you understand that we believe that?
Total douchebag.
I understand. I do not agree, but yes.
That's fine. I'm just asking if you understand. And so here we are, like saying, hey, this God isn't worth worshiping in the first place. We don't think it exists at all. But if it does, nobody should be a fan of it. Put yourself in our shoes for a second. Again, you don't have to agree with us, but just for a second, imagine you believe the same thing that we do. What would you be doing with your time? Would you be encouraging people to continue believing in this evil God and all the horrible things that it teaches and all the horrible results that it causes around the world? Or would you be doing your best, wasting the one life that you know you have to help people free themselves from the shackles of this evil religion? What would you do?
That kind of twisted and turned a little bit. Hold on. First of all, I think that you just saying that we came to the conclusion is kind of silly because it's like we are human. We have little tiny fucking brains. Sorry for cussing. We have little brains
You can
compared
curse
to
all you
God,
want.
so it's kind of silly.
You can curse all you want. We love cursing on this show.
I have a much bigger brain than God, actually.
My brain
All right,
exists.
cool. But I think that it's just like it just baffles me, like when people have such arrogance where they can think that we
And see, we did not just mute you or anything. You just you've wiped out into non-existence. I would like to continue.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble,
guys hear me?
and it's
Oh, there it is.
crazy.
Okay, we got you back.
I just got an
Sorry.
error, and I think my internet maybe went out, so there may have
Okay.
just been a problem.
All right, Rachel, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there's a weird thing going on. You sound a little bit robotic, and you just vanished from the stream for a minute. We couldn't hear you for like 10, 15 seconds. Are you still there? Can we hear you now?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I don't know what just happened. Could you please
Okay, you're
summarize
on
what you
speaker.
just
Can
said
you
back
hear
to
me
me? Because it doesn't really matter on that end. It just there was a glitch
Oh.
on our side, and you went away for a second, but we can hear you now. I don't want to talk over you. Will you
Okay.
please just summarize what you just said in response to me, and then I'm going to ask you a follow-up question.
I kind of forgot what I said. What did I say?
I can repose my question to you if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay, so what I asked you is, we agreed that you understand that we don't think that God and Satan are real, but also we have read the Bible and we've analyzed Christianity, and we have determined from our perspective that this God is not worth worshiping and is evil. And so my question to you was, if you were in our position, what would you do? Would you encourage people to follow Jesus despite the fact that we think Jesus is not worth worshiping and is actually detrimental, and continue participating in Christianity even though we think Christianity is a harmful religion that is hurting people right now in our society? Or would you do what we're doing and tell people, hey, don't believe this, and try to help people get out of this religion? What would you do if you were us?
If I were you, okay. So if I were you and I went through the Bible and I concluded that he's an evil God, which he's not, but if I did,
Definitely is.
well, I would think like
We'll get
there's
there.
one of two things there's one of only two outcomes to that. So if he's wrong, then what, is the devil right? Like that doesn't make any sense.
We don't believe the devil is real.
So it's like, sorry?
We don't believe the devil is real. We think that this is a harmful religion that teaches harmful things, that the character of God is evil, and people are out here worshiping something that is both evil and non-existent.
It would be
And
like if somebody started a cult in order to worship Darth Vader. I'd be like, you probably shouldn't do that.
Exactly.
He wasn't
Right,
he wasn't a good guy in the movie.
I don't think Darth Vader's a good person, and I don't think he exists. If people
Now,
worship
granted,
him,
Darth Vader killed a lot less kids than God did.
True.
But still.
Yeah, okay. But no, I agree. I agree that damn, I have a really bad short-term memory. Fuck me. What was I saying? Let's see.
So
Damn,
just
I really
again,
forgot.
like,
I'm sorry, I've been smoking a little bit.
my question to you was, what would you do in our position? And it sounds like you're having a hard time even putting yourself in the position that this could be wrong. You're saying, well, Satan's definitely bad and all these different things. But
yeah,
like,
because
if
I don't
can
see
tell
God
you,
as evil.
right?
At all.
I didn't ask you if you did. I'm asking you to, Rachel. I'm asking you to entertain a hypothetical here. I can tell you for sure that if I believed like you did, I would be a preacher. I would be out in the street corner trying to save people's souls. I would be spending my life getting out there and getting people saved and getting people excited about the Lord and letting them know that you can't be lukewarm or God will spew you from his mouth. You got to be constantly out here doing. I would be out doing shit like crazy all the time, but I don't. Mm-hmm. And so I can put myself in your shoes. I'm just asking you to put yourself in mine for a second. Like, if you could accept, imagine for a second that you don't believe the way you do, what would you do with your life?
I would probably just live it as carefree as I wanted to, for sure.
That's what atheists want to do.
As much as I wanted to, like do anything that I wanted to, and I think
you wouldn't believe in
that's
sin.
That's like a fucking child, like
Rachel.
Like I wouldn't.
Rachel.
No,
so here's the thing,
Rachel. You wouldn't believe in sin. We don't believe sin is a thing.
Because sin is, by definition, going against the will of God, and there's no God to go against the will
then
of.
What do you think?
And more
Satanism
importantly,
Satanism is do it thou wilt, right? Like, so just do everything.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And also, I want to throw out there, just so we're on the same page, I do whatever I want all the time, well, most of the time, and I do, what you would call sin as much as I want, and I live a very happy and productive life, and I help a lot of people, and I don't hurt anybody, because I don't have any desire to rape, murder, steal, kill, anything wrong. I don't want to do those things, and so I don't. And so, like, I have a moral... I don't tell lies as much as I can, and I don't commit adultery. Mm-hmm. I'm very faithful to my wife. I don't have
Christians
any of those
lie all the
problems.
time. Like, I don't know what this
exactly.
I'm just saying, like, you were using like murder, lies. I mean, like steal and all the quote unquote big ones. But lying is a sin. You know what I mean? And people do that so consistently. That's why I just
God shouldn't have lied in the Bible then if he wants us not to lie.
Right.
When did he lie?
Literally the
In
first
literally
lie
the first
in
book.
Yeah, literally the first lie in the universe was told by God in Genesis. But like, this is the thing, man. I'm happy to go through it with you if you'd
because
like. If
you
you
know
want to
that.
have a conversation about,
Yes.
about whether or not the Christian God is evil, I'm happy to have that conversation. But what I think is more important here is that you're calling in saying that we're doing Satan's work. No, we're not. We don't believe Satan is real. And you're saying that we're gambling with people's souls. No, we're not. We don't think that souls are real, and we're trying to free people from things. And all I'm trying to get you to understand here, Rachel, is I can sit here and argue the Bible with you all day long. I can sit here and argue whether God's a good person all day long. But if you believed like I believe and you were a good person, you would be doing the same thing that I'm doing. Because what I'm doing, in my perspective, is a moral and good and selfless thing to do. That's all I'm trying to help you get to. That's it.
Okay.
If you want to talk about God, we talk about God.
No, I understand your perspective on it. I understand where you're coming from, like as far as you not believing in it, so you think that it's detrimental to the world and blah blah blah. But I am saying that I feel like it's actually not. But the Christianity has like transformed, like crazy. So I mean, like the people who claim they're Christians now, who are hateful against like other people in general, like doesn't matter, white, black, blue, red, whatever the fuck. If you are hateful towards other people, you're not following Jesus. So you're not a real Christian, like period.
Okay.
You know? That's
So
how
then
I
posit to you, Rachel, that is a very new perspective. That is a very modern Christian perspective, first of all. Second of all, there are over 40,000 denominations of Christianity. So all you're telling me is that your flavor of Christian is the only right one. And I guarantee, Rachel, every single Christian I talk to today and next week and every single week that I do these shows is going to tell me something different than what you believe and say that every other kind of Christian is wrong. I have talked to thousands of Christians. Every one of them has said the exact same thing that you just said. Every other Christian is wrong. I know the right kind of Christianity, and I read the Bible, and I know this, and I know that, and they all say the same thing, and they all don't believe in each other, and they all think that the other people are going to hell. So it's not really convincing to me for you just to tell me your preference. Doesn't really do much.
Right. Well, like I said, I mean, I don't know if you heard me, like it might have been when I was cut off, but I have not read the whole Bible. I'm working on it. And like I said, I'm trying to get closer to God, and I've had revelations with him. Like you know what I mean? So I know that he exists, and I know that, you know, so it's kind of hard to imagine that I don't believe him when so much shit has happened in my life where I'm like, okay, yeah, like there's no denying.
And that is the
period.
exact same thing. Yeah. And that is the exact same thing that every Muslim and Hindu and every other religious person of every other conflicting religion says. Because humans are really good at those kinds of hallucinations.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It
I know a lot of people
is.
are trying to find God. I know a lot of people are trying to find God, but they're not. They haven't encountered him yet.
Talk to any devout Muslim about whether or not she or she has encountered God, and I promise you, they will give you their story.
No, I have. I've talked to many people. I love learning about all the religions and stuff. Like I try to open my mind, right? I started off as
Rachel,
a Christian,
let me ask you a question.
I've had a moment in life where I was like, I don't believe, right? Or it's hard to believe, but it's like, I don't know. You grow in your faith. You grow in all that, you know?
Rachel,
so you have to get the opportunity
can I ask you a question?
To grow. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Rachel? Does everything that happens in the universe happen according to God's will?
I want to say yes, but I know that that's a very hard question to answer, so I don't know.
Because if it's yes,
I want to say yes. I want to believe so, but I'm not sure.
Okay, if the answer is yes, then we're doing God's work. We're not doing Satan's work.
You're doing God's work by telling everybody that he doesn't exist.
Yes, because this is all according to you, everything happens according to God's plan. So he planned and willed for us to be atheists. He wants us to be atheists. He wants us to preach a message that he doesn't exist.
Yes. Yeah.
He wants us to go online and tell people that he's evil.
So then, God, do you believe in heaven and hell? So if you believe in Satan and you believe in souls going to hell and all these different things, and you just said, of course, God wants certain people to be atheists, then God wants certain people to go to hell. So God made Jovan and I, knowing that we would be atheists, knowing that we would have shows like this and do these things, in order to send us and everyone who believes us to eternal hellfire. He made these things happen so that certain people could be tortured for eternity. He's a sick, vindictive piece of shit. That's an evil thing to do.
No, he loves you. He's giving you will.
No, he doesn't.
Your free will.
No, that's not love.
To do whatever
That's
you're
not love.
doing, and if you decide to reject him,
If-
that's on you. That's not on him. He's
Rachel,
giving you the
no,
opportunity.
That's not true. That's not what you just said.
That
You
is very
said that
true.
that you no, what you just said, Rachel, is that God made some people to be atheists, and he wants some people to be atheists, and he knows all this stuff is happening, and that's all part of his plan. So, no, this
Okay.
is not about free will or anything like that. He made some people so that he could torture them. He made some. If you have
I
children,
wouldn't
Rachel,
say
and then
torture
set
them,
them on
no.
fire, if you have children and then you set them on fire and you say, well, yeah, I made that one to burn. That doesn't fucking matter. You're still a monster. God is still a monster because he made certain people knowing they would go against him, free will or not. He knew it was going to happen ahead of time because he knows all things past, present, and future. He knew what was going to happen and he made them anyway. And he could have changed their mind without violating their free will, and he didn't. And he tortured those people for all eternity because they hurt his feelings. He is a child. He is a poor, pathetic little kid, a toddler with a magnifying glass burning ants, and also he creates the ants to burn. This is not a God worth worshiping, Rachel.
I've heard that before, but it's I think the the best thing to say in that situation is like I cannot lean on my own understanding. I don't know
Okay.
God's
Yeah,
like his
that's
And
purpose.
just,
I don't
that's
know
what
all
cult
that.
leaders, and that's
None
what cult
of us
leaders
do.
say.
yeah. Well, it's just a cop out. It's just a cop out. When we get
It
you to
kind
something
of,
that
it
you
is,
don't.
It kind of is, but it's more faith. It's
It
not a
is.
cop out. It's more faith.
No.
I have
No.
faith that somebody higher than me
having
has more
having
of
faith
a,
in something
of
without evidence,
of knowledge.
and then you having faith in something without evidence, and then anytime somebody brings up something that like logically contradicts your faith, to go, well, I'm sure that being that's higher than me has a plan, and they've got it all figured out, and I just can't comprehend it. It's just a cop out.
Well, I'm not arrogant enough to believe that I know how God thinks.
Let me ask you,
I don't
Rachel,
have to
is there,
wait. Hold
based
on.
on-
We don't have to
there's
believe.
none-
We don't
there's
have
no
to
other-
believe.
there's no other
Rachel.
saying that
Rachel. We don't have to
What?
we don't have to make up how God thinks. We have an entire book that tells us how he thinks. So we know
Yes,
how
and
he
we
thinks.
interpret it in different ways. Yeah, we do.
I interpret it as it's
yeah.
written. I interpret
Right.
it in the way that it's written. So when it tells me that God is this loving being, that he loves all of us, and that he wants the best for all of us, and then he tortures us all the time, and he lets us suffer all the time, and he allows evil in the world all the
He
time.
creates evil in the world, it says.
He literally creates it. Evil only exists because of him. That's not an all-loving being. That's not a being that loves us. A being that loves us wouldn't make us suffer. I don't
But how do
torture
you know
my
that?
kids.
How do you know that? If God is love,
Because
how
that's not
are
love.
we able to? No. Listen, if God is
not
love,
love,
like
Rachel.
just specifically, if God is love, then how?
Rachel,
Can
making
you
someone suffer for
give-
no reason is not
Right.
love, and that's how people end up in DV situations.
Seriously.
We don't know that.
you're-
That's
God
the
is an
thing. We
abuser.
don't know what fucking.
Rachel,
we don't know what
no,
love
it's-
is
I-
because
that
God
was-
is love.
that
Yes, we
precisely
do.
where I
the
was
one
going to go with it.
that came
Rachel,
up with it, not us.
Rachel, let me just repeat some of this back to you, right? I'm very small and weak, and he is big and strong. He loves me. That's why he has to correct me by hurting me. And he's if I piss him off and do something wrong, then I know he's going to hurt me more. But I deserve it because at the end of the day, I'm just stupid and I don't know any better. And he's the only smart one here, and he knows so much more than me. And his ideas and plans so much better than me. And so my life really just depends on what he. That's what you're giving us, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally,
Pretty much.
literally all of that, I was describing an abused wife. Every bit of that, I was describing an abused wife talking about her husband beating the shit out of her. That is what we hear from abuse victims all the time. You have fucking Stockholm Syndrome, Rachel. And what I'm trying to get to you here is you're giving us this stuff about, well, it's all just faith. We just have to believe it. Is there anything, any idea or concept or belief at all that we could come to and believe with our whole heart that we couldn't do based on your worldview? Frame it a different way. Is there anything
Please.
at all that we can't believe in based on faith like that?
is there anything that we can't believe in based off faith
Right.
like that?
Yep. Anything at all that we could not believe in based on your faith.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, well,
There
I don't
isn't.
know. I've always said
There isn't.
Yeah, I've always
Because,
said
Rachel,
that, like,
you
I
just
don't
turned your
believe
brain
in everything,
off.
but I believe in the possibility of almost everything. Yeah, I believe
Rachel,
in the
what
possibility
there
of
is
almost anything.
there is
Almost.
nothing you couldn't believe in by just saying,
Mhm.
fuck it, I just have faith. The whoever's in charge knows more than me, so fuck it. I guess the tooth bunny is real because I just have to believe it or whatever. There is
Well,
no
not that
stupid
shit. Like-
belief. Yes, that shit.
That's
that shit.
That's not true. Yeah, that's not true.
The only
Like, I don't
difference
believe in
between the
Tooth Fairy and
tooth
Santa
bunny,
Claus and shit like that. No.
the only difference between the
So-
tooth fairy and Santa Claus and your God, Rachel, is that you find one of them ridiculous and the other one not ridiculous, when in fact they are both ridiculous.
Rachel,
No,
Rachel,
the other
if
one I've heard,
Rachel,
I've seen
Rachel,
work through my
Rachel,
life. Like, I've seen work through
Rachel,
other people's lives. Yeah.
Rachel,
Nope, you haven't.
Rachel.
You haven't.
Yes, I have.
Listen. If I had, I don't know, if I had kids, right? And at some point I go, okay, I regret having these children. They don't listen to me. They're outwardly disobeying me. They're doing things I don't want them to do. And then I kill them all and just start over. Am I a good person?
No.
So why is
No.
God good when he did that to us?
That's
Because
literally
he's
the
God.
story of the
He's
flood.
not a person. He's God.
And-
He's
and
not a
here we
person.
are.
He's the one that
They're-
created
Might-
us. So
Might makes
it's like,
right.
It's like when
I'm the one that
said,
created
like,
my
I brought you into
kids.
this world, I could take you out. I kind of see that with God. Like, he's the ultimate parent, right? So it's like,
Crazy.
I don't,
That's
it's
a shitty way to live.
It's kind of like when you said, I know it. Well, no, I don't think so. But if you send your kid to public school, right, and they grow into who they are, like with their peers and everything, and you see them as, like, you know, a different kind of person, because, like, that's not what you raised your child to be like, as opposed to, like, private school, right? Where not private school, sorry, homeschool. That's what I was thinking. So if you're, and so you have control over how you're talking to your kids, and you're teaching them and stuff like that. I feel like God sent us to to public school, right? And he's like, you know what? I want you guys to have my character, but I can't have you have my character if you're, going along with your peers and going along with this and going along with that. It's like, it doesn't work. So I feel that God is, as the ultimate parent, is trying to get us closer to him and his character. Does that make sense?
Let me just ask. No, it doesn't,
No.
Rachel. Let me ask you. Is there absolute... Do you have children? Do you have children?
I do not, no.
Do you have anyone in your life that you love with all your heart?
Of course.
Okay. What could that person do to cause you to want them to go to hell?
To cause nothing.
Okay. And if you
I don't think so.
were, we have a
Yeah.
trolley problem
Well-
here where if you're right there in heaven and you have the lever and you get to send them to hell, what could that person do for you to decide, even if you don't like it and you don't want it, the best thing is that they go to hell? That's what has to happen, and you're going to make sure it happens. What could they do?
I think pedophiles sit up there. In that
So
situation.
if
yeah.
So the person that you love very much, if they were to rape children, then you could say, you know, at the end of the day, I want you to go to hell.
It would have to be a lot, but yeah. I think that's pretty, you don't fuck with the children. Yeah.
Okay, great. So then we have a hard line. So then let's talk about God in the Bible, who not only
knew you were
committed
going there.
pedophilia, but also told other people
He
to
didn't
do
admit
it.
pedophilia.
He did. Mary was 14 years old when he impregnated her against her will. And also, he told the Israelites when I believe it was Amalek or Canaan,
Numbers.
I don't remember. It was in Numbers. So he
Canaanites.
said, go.
No, it was the
Canaanites?
Midianites.
Yes.
It was the Midianites. It was the Midianites.
Thank you.
Yeah,
When
it was
God
the
told the
genocide of the
Israelites,
Midianites people.
go kill all the Midianites, kill all the men, kill all the women, kill all the children, but keep the virgin girls for yourself. The young girls who have never seen a man, keep them for yourself. Do with them what you will. So he was cool with pedophilia then.
Numbers
He committed
31.
pedophilia with Mary. So, again, you agree that God is evil, right?
No, I don't agree that God is evil.
Oh,
I agree
because
that
it's a
God
different
is
standard for
God.
him, right?
He is not a
It's a different
person.
standard for him because he's so big and strong.
Yeah, it is a different standard
Rachel,
because if he's our creator.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Do you think the people that died in the flood, did they suffer from drowning?
Probably.
Were they in pain?
Probably.
Was it like torturous, do you think? Excruciating pain? They couldn't breathe. They were trapped. They were scared. They were starving. Some of them. They like you think so, right?
Probably, yeah.
And you think that's a version of love? A version of loving us is doing that to someone?
Of course not.
What about the Egyptian? What about the Egyptian firstborns? What about the Egyptian firstborns?
Like, what do you mean?
The babies that died in the flood were degenerates. How so? All the babies that died?
I don't know about.
Well, they must have been. You said everyone in the world was.
About the people.
Well, all of those babies suffered. All of those babies died the same way. None of them got saved. What about the firstborn Egyptian children? Did they deserve it when they all died? Was that love?
No.
Killing all the firstborn Egyptians?
I think no. Something I just thought of right now because of this conversation. I think that I know it's going to sound wrong. I think, but it's like it is what it is.
We don't say it. Though.
It's God who created these people. He created these children. Who created the babies? Right? If He wants to take them out of the world, I don't know.
So it's okay to kill babies if God commands it. What if God commands it? What if God commands it of a person?
Because He says don't kill. So if God is saying thou shalt not kill,
what if God, Rachel, what if God commands it of a person? What if God tells a person to kill babies?
Like in the Bible or like in general? He
did it a bunch in the Bible. We can look at the Midianites.
Yeah.
He told Moses to send the Israelites and slaughter all the Midianites.
So I don't really know the context.
He literally says in the Bible to cut open the stomachs of pregnant women and pull out the babies from the wombs and make sure they're dead. So we could take that, or we could talk about in real life, Rachel. It doesn't matter.
But just if God commands someone to kill babies, that's okay.
No, I never think it's okay to kill babies. But at the same time, I feel like God has His reasons for doing whatever He does. Yeah.
So then you agree.
God is not.
If you think that it's bad to kill babies, then you agree when God said several times, kill the babies in the Bible. He says, kill the infants, kill the suckling babies, cut open pregnant women's stomachs and kill their babies inside them. He says all of this. You agree that God was doing things that were wrong then. God was committing evil acts in those moments, right?
Me personally, I think that is not right. Yes. But I don't know.
Right, so then you agree with us that God does evil things.
No, I don't know. I don't know, because you're not seeing my heart in it. You know what I mean? Like you're not
Rachel,
seeing, like,
it doesn't matter what your heart. Rachel, it does not matter.
I'm seeing God as something way fucking bigger than you guys.
Rachel,
you know what I mean?
If God told you to go slaughter a group of people, including the babies, if God told this to you, would you do it?
No, I wouldn't.
Disobey God.
I'd probably be very disobedient to God.
Lukewarm Christian.
I probably would. Yeah.
So you don't hold to your own shit, Rachel.
I do hold to my own shit, but I also know
God is all good. But look at
my own standards. Yeah.
Wait, God is all good, but He slaughtered and he. Hold on, Rachel. Rachel, this is
because I wouldn't consider that God because God would never tell me to do that.
I'm sorry, so it wasn't God in 1 Samuel. Hold on. It wasn't God in 1 Samuel 15:3 where He told Samuel to tell Saul, do not spare them, but kill both man, woman, child, and infant. It wasn't God in Deuteronomy when He said, save alive nothing that breathes. It wasn't God in Joshua where He told Jericho that men, women, young and old should all be killed. It wasn't God in Numbers when He told Moses to slaughter every one of the Canaanite people except for the virgin girls. It wasn't God in Hosea. It wasn't God in Exodus. It wasn't God in any of these stories. It wasn't God in any of these stories. Doesn't matter. It's the same. It's the same
I'm
God.
not saying that he's not.
It's the
doing
same
that
God,
shit. Like,
Rachel.
I know he did it because it's in the fucking
So then
Bible.
you
I'm not,
can't. So
I'm
Rachel,
not denying
I'm
that he
sorry,
did
but
it.
it's nonsense when you sit up here and go, "Well, he would never tell me to do this." That's that. God's not like that. When he is like that, he did it a bunch of
In the Old
times. He
Testament,
slaughtered
he
his.
was. I don't
He had
know
his
why
own
it's different in the New
son
Testament, but it is.
slaughtered because New Testament authors wanted to get people to believe in a new religion, which was Christianity. So they wrote that religion to be about love, because the old one, which was Judaism, was about being fearful of God. And they were like, well, we're not going to get as many followers if we do the fearful thing. So let's do the love thing. But we're not going to divorce our God from that old God. Instead, this God is going to change, even though the Bible said God is a never-changing being. Somehow now he has changed.
I think
and
he is.
Changed because he sent his one son. He sent his only son to be slaughtered. He sent his only son to be tortured when he could have forgiven us by snapping his fucking fingers.
No,
he's kind of a prick.
It's a little different. It's a little bit more than that. It's
Rachel, your entire.
I mean, I'm sorry.
No, Rachel, your entire argument boils down to might makes right. God is big and strong, so everything he does is good no matter what, and that is what slavers and fascists think. It's just fucking lazy thinking, dude. So I encourage you to just hold your religion to your own moral standard, and it will fall apart overnight, instead of making, literally just look up the definition of the word special pleading. It is a basic logical fallacy that you even admitted to saying, yeah, there's special rules for God. You're just making special exceptions to your own moral and logical rules so that you can carve out a space for this monster that you want to believe in. When at the end of the day, anybody else ever, any other God ever, if I told you that I believe in a different God who says all the horrible shit that you're sitting here saying right now, you would call me insane. You're just making a special hole in your logic for this God that you want to believe in, and it's fucking sad, dude. And I hope that you just think about it for 2 seconds.
I disagree.
Because at the end of the day, I think you're a better person than your God is.
Oh,
He's a good God that kills babies.
I don't think I'm that good, but I don't know.
You're better than God.
I've never heard what you said, that the Old Testament, and then they created a New Testament because they wanted a loving God. Never heard that before.
Don't read their book.
Where'd you get that from?
And that's one. Where'd you get that from, Jovan?
Yeah, that just comes from the knowledge of like how early Christian pushers like changed things about the religion. Like, look at Paul. Like all the letters of Paul. Paul very much wanted to convert people to Christianity, and we know that a bunch of shit Paul writes is just made up shit. So, like, what would be the reason to make up shit?
That?
Literally, so much because
it contradicts everything.
Right.
Because it contradicts everything about God previously. Literally, it contradicts everything about this man.
Jesus said that God is ever changing, past, present, and future is all the same. Jesus said, I come not to change the law of the Old Testament, but to fulfill it. Jesus said, not a jot or a tittle of the old law shall change until everything comes to pass in the end of the age, and blah, blah, blah. Jesus says, I come not to bring peace, but a sword. Jesus says, I come to set brother against brother, and blah, blah, blah. And all who do not hate their parents over me cannot truly follow me. Jesus is very much of the same kind of vibe that the God of the Old Testament is. He just doesn't kill people the way the God of the Old Testament does. It isn't until Paul comes along that we get contradictory stories about the resurrection, contradictory stories about Jesus' message, contradictory stories about salvation. Like, I'm sorry,
well,
dude.
I would say Paul is the original contradictory. There's so many. There's so many, Rachel. When Jesus is born is wait, Rachel. There's direct contradictions in the Gospels and the letters of Paul based around when Jesus was born, based on the events of the resurrection, like how they happened, based on what's required for him to come back, based on who was ruling the area at the time. Like, they're all different because they were all written decades after Christ died.
Then
they
why
don't.
Is it that scholars are disagreeing with you?
They don't actually.
Yeah,
only lazy scholars.
I've heard scholars saying that there are no
with Bible scholars on these channels, dude.
Like, there's no contradiction.
You're talking about harmonics. You're talking about harmonics, Rachel. Actual Bible scholars are very upfront about the contradictions because they know that the Bible is written by humans. Even religious Bible scholars will tell you, yeah, this Bible is written by humans. It was interpreted and reinterpreted and retranslated a million times. Shit was added in, shit was taken out. There's bound to be some contradictions. There's a million that I can give you right now. What you're talking about are harmonics, which is an apologetic strategy to try to rationalize those contradictions away or ignore them for the sake of the broader message. But the broader message is still evil, because at the end of the day, if God is all-powerful, all-knowing, can see everything, knows everything, past, present, and future, can do anything in the universe, then everything falls on him. The buck stops with him. You cannot blame anybody for anything evil ever. It always falls back to God. And that's what you're fundamentally missing, Rachel. You keep going back to this idea of God's right because he's big and strong, and the Bible's true because I want it to be, and that's simply not how thinking works.
No, I just
But we
feel
really
like,
need to move on to another call. We have
I'll give you the last word. I'll give you the last word, Rachel. We've interrupted you a lot.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Thank you. But no, I'm just thinking, like, if I created something, right, and I told them you don't kill nobody, but I killed them because I had a plan of what I needed them to do, or who I needed this person to affect this person somehow. Like, I mean, there's so many different reasons, and so, like, I feel like everybody's mind is
if I create a child, I should be able to kill that child.
I feel like it's
Rachel,
so closed. Like,
Rachel, I know Forrest said he would give you the last word, but like Rachel, if I create a child, then I should be able to kill that child. Per that logic.
No, not a child. Not okay. Well, I guess
Exactly. There we go.
I guess I don't feel like I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not good at explaining myself, but it's just I don't know. I don't see it as evil, but I do hope that I planted a seed in someone in the chat because they need to think for themselves. You know,
I think you have. I hope you think for yourself, Rachel. I hope you read your Bible and actually think about what it teaches. And at the end of the day, I think you have planted a seed in a lot of people in chat because you just represented Christianity as something so unbelievably, unspeakably evil. We didn't even get to the parts of the Bible where it condones fucking slavery, and you'd be fine with that too because God said it, so it's okay.
No,
so like I know I did say I was going to give you the last word.
I'm not okay with murder. I'm not okay with any of that. God can slavery several times in the Bible. Well, I said I gave you the last word. I'm going to shut the fuck up. Take care. Hey, yeah, no, I think that thank you, first of all, for representing your religion so terribly. It really makes our job easier. Also, I want to prove that God isn't real, and I can do so right now. Or that if he is evil. If God is real, he's evil, but I don't think he's real, and I have proof of that. Actually, on my desk at this moment. You want to see it?
Yeah.
KFC jelly beans. The Colonel's favorite jelly beans. They are fried chicken, sweet corn, and gravy flavored. This is proof that God is not real, and if he is, he's a monster.
Shit,
no God would allow this to exist. No God would bring this into the world.
Chat. Holy shit, bro.
I have it
so
right
true.
here. Fucking Christian 0, atheists 1,000. Like, we got it. We got the proof.
I want to take. We're gonna jump around on these calls, so just stay in the queue. I don't know if calls are hearing us or if they're hearing hold music right now, but stay in the queue if you're waiting in the queue. I want to bring up Mike from, I think it's Wisconsin. Mike from Wisconsin.
Stay on topic.
Yeah. Mike from Wisconsin, you're on with Forrest and Jovan. Mike, how old are you?
47.
Great. Now, Mike, there's a live chat going right now with almost 2,000 people between both chats. Should they refer to you as he, she, they, or someone else?
My pronouns are Your Excellency and Master of the Universe.
Those aren't pronouns.
That's not a pronoun in the English language. Do you have ones that are?
Your is a pronoun, but like that was the only one
experience. That's my lived experience.
I don't care.
Mike,
I don't care that it's lived
experience.
So
we're asking you for English grammar, Mike. So what are pronouns?
Master of the Universe and Your Excellency.
So you don't know what pronouns are. So why are we going to talk? No, Mike, we can't. Because why are we going to sit here and talk about the Bible with someone who doesn't know like first grade grammar?
I'm pretty sure I know first grade grammar.
Well, then you know what a pronoun is.
And him,
so can you just give me?
There we go.
Oh, he, him?
See how
He,
easy
him?
that
All
was
right,
when you-
great.
He,
Hey,
him
what
don't
a
try to
weird,
make a
stupid
joke.
thing.
He, him will be
See how
fine for you
easy,
more.
see how easy that is when you don't try to make a very lame joke. Anyway, Mike, you think that we can't prove God is evil? You really think that, huh?
No, I think your evidence is weak, and your arguments are
It's
kind of
weak.
Not.
I don't think you've
Yeah,
actually heard.
your arguments are kind of weak. Yeah.
don't think
Is,
you've heard
is,
strong
is
arguments yet.
allowing for slavery evil, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Is it?
I think that's
You think
I
it
think
is
that's
evil
evil.
to allow someone to own another person as property?
yes.
Okay.
Great.
So I'm glad we agree. God is evil. Thank you.
God,
That
we
was
got it,
super
we're
easy.
good.
W.
Did it faster than the
No.
pronoun things.
Woo. Nailed it.
No.
That was great,
because,
Mike.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by evil. How would you describe
no,
evil?
It's the same way that you did when you talked about slavery, whatever you meant by that.
Yeah, you
So slavery
agreed
is
with us
evil.
you agreed with us that's owning another
Why?
person's property and allowing that is evil. You agreed with us. So you have
So
an
we're good.
internal sense of evil of what that is. And God has
Okay,
allowed
well
for
then,
that, and therefore, since you said
Why
that is
do
evil,
you,
then it's evil.
Okay, well, let me speak. Now, please explain why it's evil, as far as you're aware.
We don't have to.
I don't need
We
to.
don't have to.
You
Why
agreed
not?
We already agreed. We're good.
because you agreed with us.
Okay, well then I'd like to understand exactly. All right, then let's
Whatever
ask this
reason you
question.
think it's evil, we also think it's evil for that reason.
All right, so like it's like you're failing to like even engage on any kind of discourse
No,
here.
No,
Why
because
would
I
you
don't.
say-
I don't
why
do.
would you
I don't
say-
do.
Mike, I'm
No,
happy
I'm-
to explain what good and evil are and how I come to those conclusions and where my morality comes from. Happy to have those conversations. I have them all the time. But at the end of the day,
Okay,
we don't
where
have
does
to.
your morality
You
come
called.
from?
You called in and said that we don't have any reason to believe that God is evil. You agree with us that he is. Why are we having this conversation?
Okay, you said God is evil. What is evil about God?
I don't do sophistry, Mike.
I can
I don't do
start with
sophistry.
what is evil about God. What is
Yes.
evil about God
Okay.
is part of it is that he condones and commands slavery. That's an evil thing to do, and he did it, so he's evil.
Yeah, you did that in the Old Testament. Okay,
That's
Right,
You still did
and
it.
then as
That was
Still
that was,
did it,
that
right?
was a religious. That was,
Still
so
did
the
it.
Old
Still
Testament
did it.
is
Still
religious
did
Still
it.
did it.
He still
He
did
still
a
did
long
it.
time ago.
He
You
still
guys
did
talk
it,
over
Mike.
me all the
He
time.
still
You're not
did
letting
it.
me
though.
be able to speak.
The
And
thing is,
let's be
still
let's
did
be
it.
for real.
If you don't
Let's
let
be
me
for real
speak.
about something,
We
Mike.
can't
Let's be for real about
actually
something. Let's
exchange
be Mike.
ideas
Let's
if
be Mike. We're gonna mute you real quick, Mike. Let's just be for real about something for a second. God is an eternal being that exists in all times at all times. So that means he's currently doing it right now. He is
Well,
currently allowing for slavery. Just
Because
want to get that out there.
slavery is also happening right now. There's more people enslaved at this moment than there were in the whole transatlantic slave trade. And also, God knows all things and is like the ultimate judge of morality and shit. And he did it. So he wasn't stupid back then. He just did it at the end of the day. Slavery is evil. God did
didn't do
slavery.
any of
God
that.
is evil.
God didn't
It's
do
over.
any
That's
of
the
that
whole thing.
slavery. No,
God
God
allowed
did not
for
do the
slavery. God
No,
There are
allowed for
places
slavery.
in
The
the
question I
universe where,
asked
where
you,
God doesn't exist. That
The
is
question
the
I
place
asked
where
you,
evil
Mike-
is.
Mike, the
Evil
question I
is
asked
the-
you,
the-
Mike.
I'm trying
Mike, the
to answer
question-
questions
Mike-
and talk to you, but you keep talking
we
over me.
didn't ask you.
You
We didn't
guys
ask
are
you the question of what
incapable
evil
actually
is.
having a conversation
We didn't ask you,
because you can't
Mike. This is
listen
such
to what
lazy.
people
This is so
say.
lazy, Mike. This is so
You
lazy.
can't-
We didn't ask you what
you-
evil was,
you-
Mike. This is lazy. This is lazy. This is lazy. You're being lazy.
We didn't ask you anything.
No, I am being extremely.
I don't care what you believe. What you believe evil is, like, right? You said allowing for
We
slavery
can't
is
actually
evil.
have a conversation without even determining what these things are. Okay?
Mike,
if you say God
yes,
is
Mike.
evil,
Yes, we can.
no, you can't. Because
Yes.
like, then fine, God
Yes.
is a cheese sandwich. If we don't want to talk about what cheese sandwiches are, then
Mike,
for all it
all
matters,
you're going
then
to
God
do
a
is
cheese
give us a
sandwich.
circular. All you're going to do is give us a circular definition of evil. Going, well, evil is just anything absence of God. So God can't be
Yeah,
evil
that's exactly
because
what
anything
evil
evil
is.
is just
Evil
absence
is
of God.
exact- is-
So then,
evil
Right.
so
is
then,
the
Mike.
absence of
So then,
God.
Mike.
God
So you've
doesn't
walked
send
yourself into a
anyone to
logical
eternal
contradiction.
suffering. God
You've walked
does
yourself.
not send anyone to
Uh-huh.
eternal suffering. There are places in the
Except
universe
he
where
does.
God doesn't exist.
Hold on,
People
Forrest. Hold on, Forrest.
willingly
Yeah.
choose to go there. That's where they suffer.
So, Mike.
That's how
Mike, you
that's
have-
how evil
Mike.
that's how evil works.
Mike, you've walked yourself
You
into
got- are
an
you gonna-
internal contradiction. You've walked yourself into an internal
I did not.
contradiction. Yes, you
You
did,
guys
and I'll
walked
explain it
yourself-
to you. Mike,
Okay,
you
go
walked
ahead.
yourself into an internal contradiction. I'll explain how. You agreed with us that the allowance of slavery, allowing for slavery to happen, is evil. You agreed with us. Now you're saying evil is in absence of God, but God allowed for slavery. So was God absent of himself?
No. Who did God enslave? God enslaved no one.
God, no.
God didn't have any
I didn't
slaves.
say no.
Now we have a
I didn't
different
say
thing.
was the action of
God did not enslave
enslaving someone
anyone.
evil. Mike, this is why you're not listening. You're just waiting to respond. I didn't say the action of owning a slave was evil. I said is allowing slavery evil. I was very specific in my wording. Because God, under his rules that he gave to Moses on Mount Sinai to give to the Israelites, allowed them to own slaves. He said it was morally okay. It is not a moral negative for you to own slaves.
Then I will admit that I misspoke. I would say allowing slavery is not evil. I would say enslaving people.
Okay, there we go.
Well,
By today's
Well, then
standards,
you also
So-
contradict. Well, actually, sorry, just really quick,
I
Mike.
will admit,
You know you're full. No, Mike, you know you're full of shit on that because earlier on, when we first said this thing, when we first said is commanding slavery,
frankly, we're all
allowing
full of
slavery,
shit.
even rules for slavery. When we asked you originally, is that wrong? And we all agreed, yeah, but God said that. You came back with a rebuttal. Yeah, but that was in the Old Testament. So you knew what we were talking about, and you were willing to make excuses for it. And now you're changing your train of thought to try to make it more palatable for yourself.
So just so we're aware,
my thought. I'm trying to actually have a conversation, but you guys keep talking over me like.
Let's get the wait. Hold on, Forrest.
Okay,
let's just get the bare basics. Let's just get the bare.
Why don't you?
Let's just get the bare. Mike, it's not your show. Mike, it's not your show. Mike, it's not your show. Mike, imagine going into a courtroom and thinking you could talk over the judge. That's not what this is. If you want to have a conversation, you have to abide by the rules of our show. If you don't want to do that, go on the internet and start your own show. But clearly not many people listen to you because you don't have your own show. So you're going to follow the rules of our show. So as I was saying, Mike, this isn't your time to speak. And you will get your chance to speak, Mike, but it's not right now. Mike, you will get your chance to speak. It's not right now. Mike, I'm muting you, Mike. You're muted right now. You will have a chance to speak. It is not right now. If you can be patient, you'll have a chance to speak and answer our questions. But you literally, that's not right now. That's not what this is.
You just keep getting upset that the conversation isn't going your way, and then you shout out some new thing that you want us to abide by, which isn't what the conversation actually is, and then getting mad that we talk over you because you're trying to change the topic and trying to change some other thing. We don't need to define all these terms in order to get to the same conclusion we already landed at. We all agree that slavery is wrong. My question for you, Mike, is there ever any situation ever, under any circumstances ever, in which slavery is acceptable and moral? Because God in the Bible,
Forrest, there's a better start here because we've already got him. I've already got him on the ropes. There's a much better. Now,
please,
Mike,
by all means.
Mike, we're gonna reset the conversation here. Okay, right? You will have a chance to speak after you go through a dialogue tree with me for just 1 second. Then you will have a full chance to respond without being interrupted. My first question in this dialogue tree is imagine I'm a person who's crafting a society. I'm creating a society from scratch, and I'm giving rules into this society. And I, as the creator of said society, tell my people they can own slaves if they want to. Was I wrong for making this rule?
No.
No. Explain why I'm not wrong for making that rule.
Because you're just not wrong.
So the United States should have never created a rule. The United States should have never passed the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery. It's not wrong. It would have. It's actually. It wasn't wrong when we didn't have a rule on the books that slavery was okay.
I feel like you're trying to catch me in another one of those
Oh,
literally just
You
asking
mean I'm
you to
trying-
be consistent with your own fucking logic. If he's not wrong by starting a society with slavery, then the United States wasn't wrong when we had slavery. It's not hard, dude.
Yeah, I don't think that the United States was wrong for
there you go.
for what they did. No, I
agree
that,
and that's how it is. And that's how it is.
I think that
I don't mute people. I am now muting Mike because I'm not going to have a debate with somebody that John Brown would have shot. That's honestly, I appreciate Mike and Rachel for showing everybody how far these fucking termites can dig. By the way, Mike, if you're paying attention and you're like, well, they wouldn't even let me talk, and all that, we have plenty of people in chat like, oh, you wouldn't even let them talk. This is why. This is why. This is what Christianity does. This is what this does to people. You have somebody who's probably, in most of his life, a decent person, sitting here saying, you know what, at the end of the day, it's all right to have slaves. Like, slavery wasn't they weren't wrong. They're not, is it wrong to have slaves? Really? Is it wrong to use slavery to build your country? It's not wrong. Fuck off. I'm not. Thank you very much for helping us lead more people away from your shitty religion. This is a great help to us. It's a boom.
I will keep having the conversation because now he's stuck. I mean, you either concede that slavery isn't wrong and it's okay to make a society in which you allow for slavery, or you concede that God did something wrong. Those are the only two options here that Mike can make. Mike, are you going to make one of those? Or are you going to make one of those? Is slavery is now okay in your book?
You see, you said the allowing of slavery. You're playing these word games just as much as I was trying to.
Mike, how can I own slaves in a society if slavery is not allowed?
Thank you for admitting that you were playing word games.
Mike, how can I own slaves in a society if slavery is not allowed?
I think it's important to identify exactly what we're talking about here. And allowing someone to make mistakes, allowing someone to choose make a choice between good and evil, I think is part of God's plan. Okay.
No way.
Hey.
So
it's just a big mistake, guys.
There's a general organization.
Hold on, Forrest.
You don't need reparations. It was just a big old mistake.
Forrest, hold on.
Yeah,
because Mike, you're wrong.
I heard it too. Go ahead.
Mike, you're wrong. You're wrong about something here. You said allowing people to make mistakes. God doesn't think owning slaves is a mistake. So you're not doing anything wrong when you do it because he allows for it.
About that, I mean, I think
your male and female slaves may come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy same God. It's the same God, Mike. You fucking floundering piece of shit.
And he says,
your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may own them as you may pass them down as inherited property to your children, and they may be property for life, Mike. Mm-hmm. Yes.
He says the same thing throughout the Bible over and over, that I am unchanging. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the same as I was then, I am now. I do not change. I do not change my mind, even though he regularly changes his mind. Read the book of Job, where he said the whole fucking thing is, I was there when the stars were singing in the sky. I hung the stars themselves. Who are you to question me? I can do whatever I want. My rules are the best and always shall be. He says it over and over in the Bible. This fucking, it's the Old Testament. The 10 Commandments of the Old Testament, motherfucker. Do you want to throw them out too? Like, I'm sorry, dude.
Even if it was Old Testament, Jesus says not one dot or tittle. Jot. Is it jot or is it dot? Not one jot nor tittle shall be changed from the Old Testament till all is complete.
It's literally
Mike, you just can't stay consistent because you don't realize that having the Old Testament and the New Testament in the Bible are contradictory. The Old Testament directly contradicts the New.
And also because he's playing word games, as he admitted. He's just trying to look for a logical out. And meanwhile, we're here being consistent, saying, hey, slavery is wrong all the time. And all the time, slavery is wrong. That's literally the fucking simplest thing. It's not that goddamn hard. Mike is a slavery apologist who thinks it's okay to own slaves in certain situations. And that's fucking gross. I'm going to go bust a Waz, and I'll be right back. You have fun with Mike. I've got you in my ear, though.
Word. Mike, final question, Mike. Is it okay to own slaves?
There we go. I'm unmuted, right?
Yeah, is it okay to own slaves? Is it okay to own? Yes, you were muted just then. Yes, now you're not muted. Is it okay to own slaves?
You guys muted me and then just like seriously like mischaracterized all of the things that I was trying to say. The whole time
Mike,
that I was muted.
I'm going to be so honest with you, Mike. Nothing's been mischaracterized. I ask you very specific questions for a reason in order to not mischaracterize.
No, you mischaracterized.
That's why I asked you, Mike, that's why I asked you at the start of this conversation, is it ever okay to allow for slavery? There's no mischaracterization if you say yes.
Slavery. Yes.
Right.
I will say it.
So that means it is not wrong to own a slave because it is allowed.
No, it is wrong to own a slave. Both things can be true simultaneously.
Wait, says who?
Says me.
Who says it's wrong to own a slave? No, it can't. If God says some, yes.
Okay, listen.
Who says it's wrong?
If you need,
exactly.
if you
Mike,
want to provide, I need to speak. If you want me to hear, if you want to hear the explanation,
I want an answer. I don't want to pivot to something else. I want you to actually answer the question.
No. You need to listen. Okay. You need to listen, okay? Because like we could just play this game too. Does God think that murder is okay? Well, he killed a bunch of people. So is
God,
murder wrong?
Wait,
Yeah,
hold on. God does not think it's okay when we murder because he made a direct commandment telling us to not murder. So whether he thinks it's okay for himself is a whole nother conversation that we're not having.
God,
but the conversation
give a lot of,
oh my God, that's such a lazy shit. Mike, that's so lazy. Mike, that's so lazy, dude. We're having a conversation about the book. Mike, it's super lazy. Mike, I don't care. My belief in God has nothing to do with this conversation right now. So it is lazy. God specifically gave a commandment to Moses and told his people, do not murder. Well, goodbye, Mike. Goodbye. Clearly you want to be a martyr, so be the martyr.
Don't drop him. Don't drop him.
I did. I'm sorry. You want to be a martyr and throw slurs? Be a martyr. Go somewhere else.
I was gonna let him know. I was gonna let him know that hey, we don't do slurs on this channel. He is still listening, of course, but like just so we're all aware, Mike almost certainly knows that we don't allow slurs on this channel. And what happens all the time with fucking idiots like that is that they will get into a point where they get really frustrated because they're having to answer for their own beliefs, and they'll drop a slur so that we will drop the call and they can go home and tell all their fucking stupid friends about how we hung up on them because we just couldn't handle their arguments and they just kept talking over me and they wouldn't even let me.
That's why I told him he can be a martyr.
And my favorite
thing
is...
Be a martyr, I don't care.
I stepped away for 1 second. I was still listening, and I heard him bitch about, oh, you're totally mischaracterizing me. What happened was we put him on mute, and we said, see, he thinks that it's okay to own slaves sometimes. He thinks that slavery is okay. He's a fucking idiot who thinks slavery is okay. And then he comes in and says, you mischaracterized me. This is bullshit. And Jovan said, is it okay to own slavery? He's like, yeah, I'll say it. Yeah, it's fine to own slaves sometimes. Slavery's okay. He's a fucking doofus. And
also, I just wanted to be known, the rule of not slurring is in the description of the video that he clicked on to get into the live.
Literally so easy to figure out. But as always, when a little fucking brain gets a big fucking thought put at it, they just start throwing slurs and insults and crazy shit because that's all they fucking have. And I usually pretty chill with callers. Even the callers disagree with me, I won't call them names or anything like that. But if you're a literal fucking slavery apologist, I encourage you to get all the way fucking bent. I'm not going to be fucking nice to you. And that conversation went on longer than I would have done it because Jovan is a kind and loving host and a forgiving man.
I just like making people look. How do you say the phrase, it's okay to allow for slavery, but not okay to do it?
Right. If you just watch how does that
make sense to logically say? It's okay, Forrest, to allow for murder.
Right.
Did you know that? It's actually okay to, it's just not okay to do it.
Right. But if you set up your society saying, hey, if you want to go fucking kill a kid, do it. Like, have fun. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to do it myself because I am a good person. But do whatever you want, bro. Like, fucking have fun with it. What a lazy piece of shit.
Here's what you have to do to all the Christians listening. You have to just concede that God said it's okay to do slavery. You just have to concede to that. There is no way out of that. There's no way out. Like, you just have to concede to it. Plain and simple. All right, let's see what other calls we have.
I appreciate Mike's call right after Rachel's call because Rachel's whole point was God can do whatever God wants. Might makes right. God's big and strong. God's created, literally the book of Job. God's big and strong. God created the universe. God can do whatever he wants. There is no evil if God does it. Basically, divine command theory. If God says it, it's right, which makes God the arbiter of morality. And then we have Mike's call coming in here saying, there's nothing that's wrong, ever, because fuck it, because God says it. And like it's just fine. Again, God's allowed to do whatever God wants to do. We'll play whatever word games we got to play to justify it. I really appreciate these two calls back to back because I know there are some Christians watching, like the woman that we talked to earlier. What was her name? Start with a V, I believe. The 70-something-year-old woman who called in a little while ago. I get so many names, I forget. Who she's been a Christian her whole life, and now at this time is coming in and watching these shows and hearing shit like that. That's what these shows are for. Like, we're not here to debate Mike. We're not fucking here to argue with Mike. Mike's got a fucking brick for a brain. He's never going to listen to fucking anything. We're here for the people who are questioning, curious, listening.
You have Christians in my chat who are like, well, not chattel slavery, guys, not chattel, not realizing chattel chattel just means property. It means a possession, and God quite literally says you can own a person as property. So yes, it is directly chattel slavery. Anyway, we're going to take Billy from
Edna. That was
Kentucky.
the person. Shout out to Edna.
Edna was,
cool person.
Billy from Kentucky, he, him, Billy, I'm pretty sure we ever talked to Billy before. This is a different Billy. This is Nate Billy. This is a different Billy. Billy, what do, like, you want to debate us about why we shouldn't hate Charlie Kirk?
I just saw what's on the call.
Charlie Kirk is dead. I don't hate the man. I don't think about him. He's dead.
Oh.
He had took one too many to the neck, you know? Billy, are you there? Did you fall asleep?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Snoring? Yeah, we can hear you, Billy.
Can you hear me?
Why are you Yes, Billy, I'm just wondering what you wanted, why we're like. No, I know there's a lag. There's a pretty bad lag today. I don't know why. It's probably because Maluthian had that little glitch.
Can you hear me?
No, I know, Billy. I'm just wondering what. Yeah. I'm just wondering what specifically you wanted to talk about because you said you wanted to debate about why we shouldn't hate Charlie Kirk.
You want to talk about religion? Yeah,
you don't like. We want to talk about what you called in about, bro. You put a thing on the call screen when you picked up the phone and you called the show. You said you wanted to talk about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, but it was like 2 hours ago.
But what about him? He's dead.
Going all off of religion.
I would love to talk about a dead racist podcaster. Let's do it.
You want to talk about racist? He's not racist. How is he racist?
He believed in the Great Replacement theory, you fucking idiot.
What are you talking about?
Do you know what the Great Replacement theory is?
Oh, you're talking about we replace white people with black people? He did not believe that. Come on now.
Okay, so let's just go through. So let's just go through some of his fucking quotes. This is from his Twitter. It's not Great Replacement theory, it's Great Replacement reality. This year, 3.6 million foreigners will invade America. 10 to 15 million will enter by the end of Joe Biden's term. Each will have 3 to 5 kids, while while native-born Americans will have 1.5 per couple. You are being replaced by design.
All right, let's talk about.
I'm also going to read you. I also am going to read you this one. The American Democrat Party hates this country. They want to see it collapse. They love it when America becomes less white. He had a problem with America being less white. Here's another one. The southern border is, of course, the Great Replacement. They're trying to replace us demographically. They're trying to make the country less white. They want to make sure the country is more like the third world, the dumping ground of all things. No, I'm just reading his quotes here. I'm just here reading his quotes about it. The resentment the ruling class has for white Anglo-Saxon Protestant males is real. The Civil Rights Act, shut the fuck up, Billy. The Civil Rights Act, although let's be clear, created a beast that has now turned into an anti-white weapon. Thank you for your courage in calling out what is an outright war on white people, he once said. I can keep going and going and going. For the last years, I've been warning about this. This is a crusade against white people. The man was a fucking racist who believed in the Great Replacement theory. He believed that Jews were sending non-whites into America to make the country less white, and that's how they're going to take over the world by breeding out the white people. It's the white genocide. He actually talked about white genocide, too. He was a fucking racist who believed in a Nazi conspiracy theory and made his living promoting it, Billy. That's what we were talking about when you said, no, he didn't believe that. There were several quotes I just gave you directly from his stupid, fucking, weird, gummy mouth about him believing in that dumb shit. Now I will bring you back, Billy, to talk more about the racist, dumb, dead-ass podcaster, Charlie Kirk. I'm the racist. How am I racist, Billy? How am I racist?
I'll say exactly. You're not listening to what I have to say. Because I'm a white male, racist. And yeah.
Just so you know, Billy, there's a lot of white males that I don't listen to. Why would I let you finish? You just said the funniest shit. I could end the show on that.
Okay,
I'm racist because I'm not listening to a white man?
That fucking got me, bro.
Yeah, you want me to finish?
I'm racist because I'm not listening to a white person.
That was so fucking funny.
You have not given me one chance to explain anything.
Why would I listen to somebody who doesn't even know that Charlie Kirk was fucking racist? And who thinks that racism is when they don't listen to you?
No, he jumped up in a lobby and somebody made a comment about black people. He jumped up and said his neck.
Bro could have just leaped.
That was horrible.
Billy,
you don't believe in freedom of speech at all.
That doesn't make somebody racist. And also, yes, I do. You don't get.
You can't
Billy, just Billy, you illiterate fuck. Freedom of speech is not at play here. You called into our show. And said something fucking stupid, and now we're laughing at you. That doesn't make us racist.
No,
we're just describing what's going on.
Laughing at you because you don't believe in freedom of speech. Because anytime, God, no comment. Anytime,
Billy, don't got no comment, please.
No comment on what show.
My show is really big, and we're making fun of you guys.
Oh, really?
We're making fun of you.
Where can I look? Where can I find it, Billy? Where can I find your show?
Plug.
I want to be famous.
Give the plug, Billy. Give the plug. Give the plug.
Because you are fucking idiots.
Give the plug, Billy. Give the plug.
Plug it up.
What's the Twitch? What's the Rumble? No, he's got to be on Rumble. What's the Rumble link, Billy?
What's your Tumblr account, Billy?
What's your Truth Social?
Get me on Zanga.
I make more money than both of you all.
What's his Grindr?
What's your Truth Social, Billy? What's your Truth Social?
Dude,
Shout out your Grindr.
Anybody with an IQ above 5 gets on their show, guys.
Oh, man.
See what they do? They want to make fun of y'all. They can't have a debate.
Oh, man.
Billy, are the voices in the room with us right now? Are you talking to yourself? That's so embarrassing, bro.
I'm talking to my team. I'm talking online.
I'm talking about friends.
You cannot make.
I'm talking to my friends. You don't understand me.
That's what we're doing. We're having you here. We have you here in front of 3,000 people.
Hold on. He's gonna give the link. He's gonna give the link first. Hold on. He's gonna give the link.
Oh, go link it. What is it? What's your show?
Who ran for president? Who ran for president?
What's your show?
Supported by Donald Trump. I bet your money won. They can't do it. I bet money.
What's the show?
I'm not gonna. What team? What president?
What show are we on?
Bro is outside and is telling us he's streaming. He's outside. We can hear the wind.
Yep, you're exactly right, outside. Yeah, I'm like,
oh my god,
you can't do it. You're fucking an idiot.
Yo, he took hillbilly to a new level, bro.
It's fucking goddamn.
I'm a hillbilly. I live in New York City. You dumb motherfuckers.
Why'd you tell us Kentucky?
That's what it means. That's what hillbilly means. I believe that you live in New York City just as much as I believe that you are currently live streaming us on a much bigger show than we are on. You literally said that you were calling in from Kentucky.
You are nothing but young.
You called the show.
You are nothing but young. You are nothing but young.
Hey, Billy.
Wannabe.
Billy.
You
are
young.
As a New Yorker, Billy, as a New Yorker,
wannabe.
who's your senator? Who's your senator in New York?
Who's the senator of Kentucky? Who's the senator of California?
I'm not from Kentucky.
Those
you're
are
from New
also
York.
questions. Good job, Billy. Those are questions too. Now we're gonna ask the other one again. Who's the senator in New York where you live, Billy?
Can you answer?
Billy,
can you answer an honest question?
Joke. Holy
Billy, I don't
shit,
think.
Billy.
I think the problem is. I think the problem, Billy, is that maybe. Just these debates just aren't for you. I think maybe the political thing just isn't your bag. Can we maybe let's have Billy instead? Let's try.
You are young.
You are.
You're young.
No, you're a doo-doo head.
You're young.
My dad can beat up your dad.
You're a doo-doo head. No, you're the doo-doo poo-poo head.
My dad's bigger than your dad, Billy. That's all.
You know young Turks are, don't you?
Are you trying to say the young Turks? Yes, I do, Billy, and that has nothing to do with this show.
I almost did it. Goddamn!
Don't do it. It's wrong.
Goddamn! I almost did it. Ooh! I had to stop myself. Ooh! No,
I'm laughing at you too.
No, you are.
Yes, you and all of your cousin wives are all laughing at us. I'm very sure. But Billy, at the end of the day. I'm sorry, bro, you don't know what you're talking about, and that's the case every time you call in. You just say something fucking dumb and get really upset about it.
No, you are.
I'm sure you know lots of things.
You're stupid. No, you're stupid. You are. You're the dumb one. No,
Please tell me it's a voice changer. Please tell me it's a voice changer.
Stupid.
I can't handle that.
You don't know shit about politics. You don't know shit about life. You don't know shit about anything.
Billy, who are your senators?
Billy, you don't know what your senators are.
Billy,
can you spell senator? Can you spell the word senator for us?
Billy, who are your senators? Who are your senators, Billy? Who are your senators? No. Who are your Billy? Who are your senators, Billy? Who are your senators? Billy, who are your senators? Who are they?
Who's your president? You can't
exactly shut the fuck up, Billy.
Billy doesn't know what a senator is. Billy doesn't know what a senator is.
We're moving on.
Oh man. Oh. Billy doesn't know the difference between a family reunion and a homecoming, because every time he comes home, he'd be coming in his fucking mom.
Pause.
What?
Yeah, he just, he met his wife at the family reunion,
Yeah. Billy's family tree is a fucking wreath. And bro's calling in here to tell us that we don't know shit about politics when he doesn't know what a senator is or how to spell it, or how to spell anything for that matter. Fucking, my God.
That was fucking
He doesn't believe in the Great Replacement Theory. Here's several quotes where he directly refers to the Great Replacement Theory. Yeah, well, that's not racist. You're racist because you don't listen to me. I can't let that go. I can't. The
Luthien,
joke's right
did we close lines down?
We did.
Oh, okay. I was not aware.
I did.
Oh.
Do you need me to open them?
We might. I don't know how long these next ones are going to take.
Okay.
Yeah, we got an hour left. We could probably get through these three and then.
Bro, what was that called, dude?
We can actually. But by the way, here at the line, our new rapid summary technology, we're able to summarize Billy's entire call. There it was, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Jimmy Sue in the line, and also maybe Jovan Bradley. What a show! What was that voice changer that you had?
What voice changer?
Was that an impression? Was that your actual voice when you were doing? Oh my God! Okay, there it is. I got to get one of those. Those are fantastic. Let's get some of the bass out of there.
I'm unsure of what you're talking about. Well, voice changer. This is just me.
I'm over here popping vitamin gummies trying to stay awake. I gotta write a fucking lecture.
This is crazy.
Let me turn it off.
Can we make sure? So we had 3 calls left. Luthien opened the lines, and now the lines are immediately almost full. No, we just dropped crazy. 2. To the person in chat, Peter, who said, pick up pansies, call in. Here's your chance. We have 2 lines open right now. 1 line open. You're missing your chance. Call in quick.
I'm just going to be so honest, if they can hear me. Sam, I don't really want to have a conversation about gun rights today. It just doesn't do anything to me.
He's waiting on the line for like an hour. We can do it quick.
Sam's called in so many times.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like we haven't had long conversations with Sam. I would like to take Joshua from South Carolina. Joshua calling in about the trans issue and how being anti-trans is anti-science. Joshua, how old are you, bud?
First of all, hello. How are y'all?
Hello.
Chilling.
I'm 35.
Cool. Joshua's 35. Now, Joshua, Forrest, and myself are both scientists. Forrest might be more of a scientist than I am. He might have more credentials than me.
No, I love that.
Forrest is a biologist. I am somewhat of a scientist myself. And
nice.
We believe that trans women are women, trans men are men, trans ideologies are valid, and trans identities are valid, and that being anti-trans is being anti-science. Do you have any contentions with any of the things? Yeah, I know, right? Do you have any disagreements with any of the things I just said?
Okay, so I guess let me start off by saying that I'm not completely at all against trans people to say that, right? Like, if I'm not a big fan of like transitioning minors, for example, like below 18, I would say. I'm not a big fan of that. But I mean, if you're a dude and you want to get your thing chopped, I mean that's all you know what I mean? That's your thing, right? And
well, so I don't know what you mean by like getting your thing chopped off, because like they're not chopping anything off. Medically, that's not what's happening.
You're removing your penis, right?
No, your penis doesn't get removed. It gets changed.
So what are they? They're inverting it, basically.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you're just saying anybody can do whatever they want to do, and that's fine. But that's not really what being trans is. Being trans doesn't stand for transition, right? Trans stands for transgender.
Well, true. Okay. Well, I didn't finish. So, like, again, like, I have no issue with trans people at all, right? I have no issue. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. If there's a guy that walks in and he has long hair and he's in a dress and he wants me to call him ma'am, I have no problem with that, right? Like, I don't care, right? It doesn't affect me. It's not a big deal. Like, I go on about my life. Who cares? My only thing is, like I said, with like below 18, because if they can't consent to sex, right, and they have to have like a parent basically consent for them, then how are we transitioning? Can you just explain that? Like, what makes that?
Yeah, that's just all the way all medical care. That's just the way all medical care works. Children can't consent to medical care. They assent to it. There's a thing called medical assent, which is what's done when you can't consent. You assent, which is just like being told of what's happening and acknowledging of what's going on. Their parents consent. So their parents are the ones who are consenting to this medical care for their children because their doctors have recommended it or find it an appropriate treatment path for them.
So how do you determine that, right? So like how does a parent determine that and make that decision to like, I guess what rephrasing, I guess like what line is determined to where they're like, my 8-year-old wants to be a woman or wants to be a girl
it's the exact same, Joshua, just to be clear, it is the exact same process as Jovan just said. Anything else, if that kid had cancer, if that kid needed to get their wisdom teeth removed, if that kid needed a whatever procedure ever that they cannot consent to themselves, the parent listens to the doctor, The doctor gives her professional opinion of what's going on, and the parent says, all right, yeah, I trust you because you're a doctor and you went to school for this shit. And as we have here, this is a statement from the American Medical Association. This was published by the president of the American Medical Association at the time that it was published. Every major medical association recognizes the vital role of gender-affirming care in improving the physical health and mental well-being of transgender individuals. Widely accepted standards of care and clinical guidelines recommend a staged process for transgender minors that enable young people to explore and live the gender that they choose while keeping options open. Studies have consistently demonstrated that providing gender-affirming care that is both age-appropriate and evidence-based leads to improved mental health outcomes. Conversely, denying such care is linked to greater incidence of anxiety, depression, and self-harm. So nobody is saying that some 8-year-old walks into the doctor and says, I don't want to have a dick anymore, and the doctor comes in with some hedge clippers and starts lobbing off wieners. That doesn't happen. It is a staged, age-appropriate, evidence-driven, best practice process, just like everything else in medicine, and it is done by medical professionals who spend their lives learning about this stuff. Doctors, psychiatrists who study this shit for a living, and their parents just listen to the experts and follow expert advice. That's it.
Okay, well, I mean, I wasn't exactly like coming from the perspective of they just come in lobbing off wieners, okay? Like,
I didn't think you were. I didn't think you were. I was giving a little bit of a hyperbole to show that this isn't what people think it is all.
Yeah, okay. So I guess, like, my next question would be, so, you know, me as a 6'7", I think I'm like 280 or something like that. If I wanted to be, say I wanted to just, you know, change my name from Joshua to Jessica, right? My next question would be relevant to like sports. Okay. So obviously I'm a bigger man, right? That's just how I was made, you know, whether you want to call that God, whatever, genes. I'm not big on religion. By the way, some of those were hilarious. And the last dude, man, like I felt like we were talking to Waterboy, Bobby Boucher. Jesus. Anyway, man. Yeah. So like with sports, I mean, do you think that me as a 6'7", 280-pound man should
let me ask you a
sports against women?
Yeah, let me ask you a clarification on that. Do you think that a cisgender woman who is 6'7", 280 pounds should be able to compete in whatever sport she wants?
Well, I mean, they have weight. I'm assuming that they would have weight classes, right? They have like heavyweight women's, edition and stuff.
It depends on the sport. Right? It depends on the sport you're talking about. Some sports
rugby,
don't.
I don't think it's a thing.
But if she's 6'7", 280 pounds, should she be allowed to compete? If the answer is yes, then yeah. Why would I say a trans woman who's also 6'7", 280 pounds can't compete?
Well, because you
seems
have
like
to
a
consider
weird.
That, like, okay, I get where you're going at, and that's fair. Right. But then you also have to look at, like, you know, the science and like muscular development of a man compared to a woman. Right. Men have denser bones. Their muscles tend to be bigger, especially me as like a taller, more heavier man. I'm pretty sure that I would be stronger than a 6'7" woman just by default.
It's the same question then. Right? If I have a woman, a cisgender woman who has much heavier, dense bones just because of whatever happened in birth, she has a higher bone density and she has a higher muscle mass. Should she be allowed to compete? And again, if the answer is yes, then my answer remains yes. If we're talking about, this is the problem with the conversation. If we're talking about whether we want to create some level of fairness, the fairness can't be on a person. It has to be on the criteria. So if we're saying, well, males shouldn't compete against females, which is essentially what it boils down to, because just by the fact of being a male, they have X, Y, or Z things that is more beneficial to them in the sporting category. Well, then it's those things that have to be banned, which means if you have a cisgender woman who has those things, she also needs to be banned because it's those things. It's not just the fact that they're males. It's those things are the advantage.
So I have a question, right? So I'm not saying that men, you know, all men are stronger than women, right? Obviously, there's women out there that are a lot stronger than a lot of these, like, men, okay? So, like, but that's, like, not always the case, right? Like there's different. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't define every woman as being less stronger than a man or less faster than a man, but statistically, right, a man is always going to be faster. A man is always going to be stronger than a woman. Is that wrong to assume?
But what you're missing is what I'm saying here. If the thing that is wrong is the advantage needs to be banned, not the person. Like, we can't ban the group, we would ban the advantage, right? Like if it came out that we found like not saying this is accurate, but what would happen if we found out that like black men on average have higher muscle mass than white men, or are better endurance or higher bone density, right? Would we now say black men can't compete against white men because this is the same criteria?
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, I mean, if you look at like hard sports and stuff like football, right? That is predominantly black men. Same thing with track and field. It's predominantly black men, right? So I'm not saying that is the case, but I'm just saying that, like, you know, statistically, black men are probably better runners than a white man, right? I'm sure there's white men out there that are faster, but you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah,
like,
by the logic, in order to make sports fair for white people, we'd have to ban black people from competing against them.
Negative, because it's a man competing against another man, and race doesn't necessarily come into play. Because
but this is okay. Like, you're assuming... Joshua, hold on, please listen, please listen.
Okay.
We're looking at the foundation of the argument, right? The foundation of the argument is that a person shouldn't have to compete with somebody who has built-in physical advantages over them. That's the foundation of the argument. Now, if you're just special pleading and you're saying this only matters in the case of gender, then it's just a special plead. But if I'm going to look at whether this argument logically holds water, I'm going to look at, does it hold for every instance? I'm going to put it in the water and see if the boat starts leaking. Right now, the boat is leaking because you're saying, well, hey, here's another instance where there is somebody where we show a very clear advantage, right? Here's a clear advantage happening, right? I don't think there is enough evidence to show black people have an advantage, but we're using it as just the argument here. We're saying here's the advantage. Should these people now be not allowed to? And you go, well, no, because it's just about gender. That's a special plead. We're just special pleading now.
So when you were referring to like a 6'7" woman, right, which is pretty rare, but I'm sure there are 6'7" women out there.
6'7" men are rare too.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some Amazon chick out there, right? But what I'm trying to say is, right, that even if you had a 6'7" man, a 6'7" woman, and a 6'7" man, and you could, like, it is fair and essentially that woman should be able to compete against other women because she is a woman, right? But me transitioning to a woman, would that be fair as me as a 6'7" man that transitioned to a woman competing against a real woman?
This is what I'm saying. This is what you're missing in the conversation. What is the core reason why sports should be split up by gender in your mind? What is the reason for it?
Because men are stronger and faster. Not all sports, right? Because there are some sports that are fair, like, you know, like, I don't know, like off the top of the head, like archery, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman competing in an archery competition. That's not physical based, right? But if you're talking about running, you can't tell me that a man is not generally faster than a woman.
But
right?
hold on,
like,
Joshua, that's not giving me the why it should be split. Like, yeah, what if I would say, so what if they're better? Why does that? So what if they're stronger? So what if they're faster? Why does that mean we should separate them? The why is because you believe it is unfair. Exactly. You believe it is unfair for somebody to compete against somebody who has these advantages when they do not. So if there are other groups where that is the case, you should believe the same thing for those groups.
So you're saying that, like, for example, like in boxing or MMA, that if that's the case, then we should have lightweights versus a heavyweight. Is that fair?
Yes, boxing we do. Like we found in boxing that arm length and height and weight play a big role in fairness. So we separate boxing on that level.
Okay, so again, it would bring you back to the 6'7" man and the 6'7" woman, right? The man, if I transitioned, right? Because what does it mean to transition, right? Let's say I get my apologies, I forget your name, but getting your wiener chopped off or lobbed off, as he put it, right? Does that now make me a woman to where now I can go and compete against a real woman? Because obviously I would win, right? And any kind of physical
I
sport.
just want to be clear. So it sounds like your argument, like I'm not participating in the sports conversation because I really could not give less of a fuck if you paid me about sports. But it sounds like your fundamental issue is you have an issue with like what the transition process or like what it means to be trans, because you keep throwing around this concept of like, well, there's a real woman, and just because I got my wiener chopped off, am I a real and like. I'm sorry, that's not how that works. Trans women.
Okay, well, explain it to me.
Trans women are women.
I decided. Okay, well, that's fine, right? But I mean, again, like a trans woman can't, for example, doesn't have a period. A trans woman does not have the capability to give birth. Right? So a trans woman can give birth.
None of these things are necessary to be a woman. There are plenty of cisgender women that don't have these issues, don't have these characteristics either. So, like,
true, but
these
that's
are not
like
necessary
that,
to
like,
be women. You're just looking at averages and trying to dictate outliers.
But that would be the norm, right? So like when we're looking at a child and we're like, this child has 11 fingers, does that now make it normal that children have 11 fingers when he's like one out of a million kids that has 11 fingers?
No, you just can't say that. You just can't say that children with 11 fingers aren't real children or aren't real people because they're an outlier. They're still just kids.
Well, you wouldn't say that having
typically
10 fingers is necessary to be a child.
Exactly.
Right?
You would just say humans typically have 10 fingers on average, usually, normally, under normal circumstances, basically, generally. These are all just modifiers that we use all the time to say that this is usually how it is. And usually women have periods and usually women can get pregnant. Doesn't always happen for a variety of reasons. One of those may be that they're trans. There's this like, it's just not crazy.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. And by the way, guys, like I'm not coming at y'all as trying.
I don't
to
think you're being an asshole.
I
don't think you're being an asshole.
No,
I think
that all.
this is a new topic for you.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like I'm trying to understand it. And again, like even outside of the trans issue, like I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I will tell you that I voted for Trump. I will tell you that I'm also very regretting of that decision. That was my first time ever voting. I've never voted before. I actually recently just started getting into politics, and there was a lot of things that I didn't really agree with. I'm not saying I'm like agree either way. I think both people are stupid. If you want me to be honest with you, I think there's stupid people in the Democrats. I think there's stupid people in the Republicans. I mean,
no argument from us there. But Trump is exponentially worse.
I agree. And see, like even like I guess like okay, so like how do y'all feel? About the ICE situation and that and on that subject. How do y'all feel about that? If y'all don't mind
I'm
me
not
asking?
a fan of Nazis.
Okay, so great. So let me ask you a question. So, what defines someone as a Nazi? Is it just that they do not see your point of view, or
it's that they are armed, unaccountable, militaristic police who are covering their faces and marching into cities and going into hospitals, churches, schools, apartment complexes, so on, arresting people based on their skin color and their accent, holding them in detention centers, which are just literally concentration camps, because that's what that is, where we have credible reports from the ACLU, Amnesty International, and internal whistleblowers that there are people being starved, tortured, unsanitary conditions, floors flooded with urine and feces, people being beaten to the point of disability and death, people being denied life-saving medication, including prescription medication, until they die. We have credible accounts of torture going on in these scenarios. We have over 3,000 cases of immigrants going missing, just vanishing off the face of the earth. We have several situations like that poor blind man who is just dumped in the snow and died in the snow. So we have people being arrested based on their skin color and accents, being sent to concentration camps where they're being tortured and killed by armed white supremacists who are marching through the streets with no accountability, shooting American citizens. They have already arrested and unlawfully detained hundreds of American citizens. They have deported Americans, at least one American citizen that I remember, including several veterans they have deported as well. Those are fucking Nazis.
Yes, sir.
So just
sir.
I'm not saying they're up here sig heiling. I'm saying they are walking like Nazis, talking like Nazis, acting like Nazis. They're fucking Nazis.
Okay, so I guess my question, and I agree with a lot of what you said, right? Like I'm not a fan of the way that they are conducting it. Like I will say this, that like, you know, if you came over illegally, I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's like
Obama deported more illegal immigrants than Trump ever has,
true,
and he did it following the Constitution.
True. You're right.
The thing that's happening
exactly
now is that Trump and ICE are violating the 5th and the 14th Amendments in order to circumvent constitutional protections that these immigrants have, whether they be legal or not. He is violating the law of this country to hurt people that he hates.
Right. No, and I totally agree. So I guess like my thing is I feel like the whole, like everything goes to like Nazis and Hitler. You know what I mean? Like it's like I want
to make a very big distinction. I want to make a very big distinction. I slightly disagree with Forrest. I don't think MAGA are like Trump and MAGA are Nazis. I do believe that they are fascists.
Specifically, I said ICE.
Oh, ICE. Okay. I would label Trump as well as the entirety of the GOP at this moment that falls in line with him as fascists. They clearly meet the academic definition of fascism. They clearly are matching all 14 tenets of fascism, both from Lawrence Britt and Umberto Eco. They are very clearly fascist. There's no way around it. That being said, I don't know how we got here from should trans women compete in sports.
Well, I mean, I can give an example just really quick. Like, Josh, do you like? You would agree, like, when Hitler said that immigrants were poisoning the blood of his country and that people come in with bad genes that causes them to do bad things and commit more crime. That's kind of like what we're talking. We're talking about Nazi shit. We're talking about that, right?
I would agree with that. Whenever you get
definitely.
Now,
but here's the thing, Josh. Both of those quotes are from Donald Trump. Those aren't Hitler quotes. Donald Trump said immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country, and Donald Trump said that immigrants come in here with bad genetics that causes them to do bad things and commit crimes. Those were not Hitler quotes. Those were Trump quotes.
Yes, I know. He's an ignorant fuck, right? I don't know if I can curse on here.
That's why I call these people Nazis.
No, and I agree. Like even the whole like thing with Iran recently, talking about, you know, he's gonna annihilate the whole civilization. Like that's so fucking stupid. Like we shouldn't have a president that talks like that, regardless of if you agree with it or not. You know what I mean? Like that. I think that's stupid. But like again, like I don't know, man. I just feel like the whole Nazi term is very much overused. And I feel like any time that you disagree with anything, especially like regarding with the left, then you're automatically a Nazi. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like that term is used so much.
It's not that you're disagreeing with the left. It's that you're aligning with Nazis. If there are 10 people, if there are 9 people sitting at a table and one Nazi joins in and the 9 people don't kick that Nazi out, those are 10 Nazis. There are 2 people in this world. There are Nazis and people who hate Nazis. Those are the only 2 types of humans.
So what is your if you don't mind me asking, what do you I guess define yourself as, like politically?
I am also like you, registered as an independent. I don't think that there's an issue with that as long as you're not voting just, you know, or whatever. But like for me, I am much farther left than any Democrat. I am not a Democrat. I am not a liberal.
Okay. Yeah, because I would say that traditionally, like, I've fallen more on the left, and like, but I've never, you know, voted. Like the first time I voted was this recent election here, And some of my reasonings, I don't know how long I have to really get into this, but I didn't think that Kamala Harris was the greatest. I'll be honest. There's a lot of shit that she's
Neither do I, but she
was
worlds better than Trump.
And again, I'm gonna tell you, I regret my vote. If I could go back, I would have not voted at all. If you want me to be honest with you, I would have not have voted for at all because
not better.
I don't think that voting for a lesser evil is any better than any better of a decision. You see what I'm saying? So I would have just chose to opt out.
No, I don't
completely.
see what you're saying. I don't see what you're saying because you had one person who, worst case scenario, Kamala Harris. I agree, she wasn't a great candidate. I didn't like voting for her either. But on one hand, you have somebody
who even elected her? She's who even put her up as the Democrat electorate?
Worst case scenario, Kamala Harris would have maintained the status quo. The absolute worst thing that she would have done based on what she said, her policy decisions, all these things, it was likely she would have improved some shit. But worst case scenario, she would have been the exact same as Joe Biden and would have had 4 more years of the same bullshit. On the other hand, you have Trump, who is exponentially worse in every single way. So no, I don't think just not voting is a better option.
So okay, so I get what you're saying, but do you agree with the whole open border thing? Do you think that we should just allow any and everybody to just whoever decides they want to come over here? Do you think that that's appropriate?
I think that it's a false dichotomy. I think that we can tighten up our border policy in ways that maintain the humanity and dignity and civility of immigrants and also allow a lot more people in legal ways. Me personally, my personal views is that borders are stupid in the first place. But if we're talking about maintaining a country and sovereignty and all the other things people care about, which I understand, we have to make a policy that works for everybody, right? I think that there are plenty of ways that we could clean up our immigration system. There are people who take decades to become citizens the right way, that we could clean that up and make a clear, fast, easy, convenient path towards citizenship, make sure our asylum seekers are benefiting and from those policies and taken care of the way that they deserve to be taken care of, and also get out people who are here illegally and also breaking laws. If they're here legally, but they're good people and they're following the law, as most of them are, they're participating in our society, they're paying, undocumented immigrants pay over $100 billion in taxes that benefit us. If they're here just doing that they got to do to try to survive, I think we should extend them some sort of amnesty or clemency, amnesty, I forgot the right word, but give them some sort of way to become legal citizens and enjoy this country that we all love so much in a way that every American should be able to. My family were immigrants. My dad never naturalized. He kept his green card his whole life. The only reason ICE wouldn't be after him if he was alive is because he's fucking white. Meanwhile, we're out here arresting people at naturalization ceremonies. We're up here arresting people at immigration court hearings. We're up here pulling people's tax records to arrest them. If any of these problems that the GOP is talking about were serious, we wouldn't be able to do those things. The fact of the matter is we are just arresting people for being brown and nearby. That's all that's happening.
And see, I agree with that, but see, and I get what you're saying, but I feel like some of that messaging is kind of drowned out by the fact that, a lot of people believe that because if you're white, then you come from some sense of privilege. You know what I mean? I've never had any kind of. I do? Explain. I'm trying to find my 40 acres and a mule, man. Where's it at?
White privilege doesn't mean that your life is made better. It means that it's not made worse by your skin color. So take, for example, the consideration that, if we can look at actual studies on this. There have been multiple studies done that show that if you say the exact same resume out to the same job for the same position with the same credentials and just put a black sounding name and a white sounding name on it, well more than half of the time Jared gets the job that Jovan doesn't get, just to use the first name in front of me here. This happens all the fucking time. And so your life isn't easier because you're white. You don't just have you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. It means that you are treated fairly in the job market. Same thing with housing, same thing with education, same thing with policing. We know that black people are over policed. They are pulled over more often than white people are. And when the sun goes down and the cop can't see who's in the driver's seat, it averages out. Now, there isn't a disparity anymore, but when the cop can see who's driving, they pull over the black person all the time. black people get more harsh sentencing for the same crime, despite the fact they commit the same kind of crimes. We talk about black on black crime, despite the fact that the FBI has proven time and again that most crime is intra-racial, meaning that white on white crime and Asian on Asian crime is exactly the same kind of problem, and also that white people commit more fucking violent crimes. And so, like, you in your life, you are not given some magical golden trophy for being white. Nobody's out here making your life beautiful for it. You just get to participate in society in a way that a black person or a brown person or whatever can't because of your whiteness. Well, your life is made less hard. Your life isn't easier. It's just not made harder is all.
Well, okay. Well,
I do gotta say, we have like 6 people in the queue. We got to move on to the next call.
Okay.
Can
I just say this one more?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I say this one more thing?
Go for it.
I just want to say that, like, you know, and I appreciate y'all giving me the time too. Y'all been great, by the way. But I guess my perspective is different because I come from South Carolina, right? And when I look around, black people are poor, white people are poor, I'm poor. Everybody who lives around, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I don't see any kind of privilege because I'm white. I suffer just like they do. Do you see what I'm saying? I live in the same neighborhood that they do.
No, you don't. That's the key. No, you don't. I grew up on food stamps, my dude. I grew up on government assistance, on charity. I grew up poor too. I get it, where you're coming from. But the difference is when I went out in the middle of the night and wanted to go fuck around with my friends, I wasn't at risk of being shot by a police officer. Black people are. So a black person going around fucking around at night, look at Tamir Rice, look at Trayvon Martin, look at Philando Castile, look at a million examples of a black person just minding their own fucking business, hanging out, doing whatever, and a cop fucking kills them. That happens more than 3 times more than it does with white people. So your life, again, you weren't given a good life because you're white. Your life isn't made any harder because you're white. Those same black people live in the same situation that you are. They have all your same problems, and then they have new additional problems on top of it. That's what we're talking about with white privilege.
Sir, my first time ever being arrested, I was 12. I went to it was called CEC. It was Coastal Evaluation Center. Anyway, I was there for a month, right? And it was because of that. And that was whenever I was 12. I spent my 13th birthday in there, all right? I was in and out of the system my entire teenage life. Okay, I didn't start to get it right until I was like in my probably like 2023 range is when I started to get it right because I realized that I was just running through the same process over and over again.
Joshua, were you in that system because you did something wrong, or were you in that system because you were racially profiled? Because black people have the highest exoneration rate out of any racial group in this country. They are found innocent after spending months or years in jail more than anybody else because they are racially profiled. You were not.
Sir, my co-defendants were black, sir, and I got the same exact time that they did.
Doesn't change anything.
I really can't do that. I really can't do the survivorship bias. We need to move on, Joshua. Thanks for calling.
Survivor. Oh, okay, bro. All right, y'all have a great day, man.
It's quite literally survivorship bias. Like
it is survivorship bias, and I was trying to get that across. I don't know if I did a great job, but Joshua, like I don't think he was trying to be a jerk. I think he was being I just think he's very much in his bubble in a way that I don't think he realizes. And I encourage Josh, just dig into these topics a little bit more because I think there's more to it than you realize. And I think you don't notice, and I'm not calling you stupid here. Please don't think I'm trying to condescend. I don't think you realize how much you are only looking through your own perspective instead of looking at statistics. That's what I would encourage.
All right, we're going to try to rapid fire because we have 6 people and we only have 30 minutes. Peter from California wants to tell us that we should bomb every single person in Iran. Peter, why should we bomb every single person in Iran, Peter?
I did not say every person in Iran. Get the hell out of here.
You said bomb all of them.
I said bomb everyone in the government, IRGC. Okay, yeah, okay. And it's not to finish this. Look how you guys try to flip it. You guys are so weak, bro. Oh my god.
You said bomb all of them.
You can't deal with your.
It does say bomb all of them on the call screen. If you don't think if that's a poor representation of what you want to say.
Lady, I said. She said you agree with the war. I said yes. Bomb everybody in the IRGC. Everyone in the regime. Bomb everybody in that regime. All of them. Everyone
what happens to the civilian casualties?
Okay.
Do we care about those?
Let's talk about it. So, no, of course, my mom's from Iran. My mom was born in Iran in 1970. Are you stupid? Okay, cool. So
yeah, do we care about the civilian casualties?
We all knew about your mom, bro. Of course.
No, I told the ladies that. That's why I'm assuming you say
okay,
that I wanted to bomb all of Iran,
Peter,
but you don't take the part that my parents are from Iran.
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yes, sir.
Peter. How many civilian casualties have there been so far in the war?
Thousands.
Okay. How many civilian casualties is justified?
It matters on the context of your question. What is the purpose of it?
The purpose is for what you want. Whatever you want, whatever goal you want. How many civilian casualties is that?
Is Iran a threat to America? Yes or no?
Iran did not pose a nuclear threat to America, no.
Okay, no, not a nuclear threat. Were they going and putting an American flag up and burning it on national television? Were they doing that?
I don't care if they were burning American flags.
Okay,
I don't care if they were burning American flags.
So you guys have a problem. You guys have a problem with Trump because he doesn't align with you. But there's a state that's saying death to your state. Death to your state. We hate you guys. And then
Peter,
let me explain something.
Peter, if another country thinks that the United States is a threat to them, does that mean they should be able to bomb the United States government?
Yes, if the Japanese Prime Minister comes on and says, we hate Americans and we want to kill Americans, they are a threat.
That's not what I asked.
It doesn't matter.
No, that's not what he said.
You didn't answer my question. I'm going to ask my question again, and hopefully you answer it this time. If another country feels that America is a threat to them, that America is threatening their safety and their peace, does that country have the right to bomb the American government?
That country does not have the right. No, because can I tell you why?
So does the American government have the right to bomb Iran because it finds Iran to be a threat to them?
Yes. Let me tell you how war works. When you're the big dog, you're the big dog. You call the shots.
Peter. Okay? So might makes right,
that's
Peter.
How it works.
Whoever has the biggest gun is
we're
right
every
time.
We're back to Rachel's call. Whoever has the biggest strongest man in the room, he gets to do whatever he wants.
Wait. That doesn't make sense. I don't understand. When did Shah fall and when did Khomeini come into office? I have a question. Do you know that year?
It's what you
said,
matter. Peter.
It doesn't matter.
So was there ever conflict with Iran
Christ.
and USA?
You know there's.
Wait, no.
Peter, we're not denying. Peter, I need you. Peter. If you're going to have this discussion, what I need you to do, if you're going to have this discussion, is be logically consistent. So right now, you're telling me that the United States, because Iran poses a threat to them, the United States is justified in targeting Iran.
Threatened. Yes.
Great, because the United States has been threatened by Iran. The United States is justified in bombing the Iranian government.
There are other shit out of them.
Great. There are other countries. Please listen, Peter. Peter, I wasn't done, Peter. I was not finished.
Go ahead.
So you need to listen.
Go ahead.
So there are other countries in the world that the United States has not only threatened, but we have directly harmed either by attacking them unprovoked, causing them to have forced regime change, or killing tons of their civilians. Do those countries, are they justified in bombing the shit out of the United States?
Okay, if you want a yes or no, just to go lead you on to somewhere else, if they ever become a superpower and they ever want to go back in their history and say you bombed us, and
some
you
of
did
them
this
are
to us, and you killed our
superpowers.
Civilians, they have a right. No, if Venezuela ever becomes a superpower and they have the power, because Iran would hit us if they could.
Some of the countries that we have attacked are superpowers.
Yeah. Okay, so name a country that we've gone to conflict with that screamed death to America that's a superpower that we haven't kicked their ass in a world war. Please tell me that.
You genuinely, Peter, you genuinely cannot follow this conversation, and it's getting kind of concerning that you consistently keep moving away from the conversation.
You are literally, Peter, you are adding so much special pleading to such a simple question. It's fucking embarrassing.
My mom is from the country. We've had
Who gives a fuck about your mom, Peter?
I don't care if she is. You're not. You're
You don't understand the regime. You don't understand the regime, but that's the truth.
Peter, I don't need fucking Jesus Christ.
Yes.
We can be anti-monarchy and anti-theocracy. We can we can dislike both the regime and the monarchy. We can dislike them, and we can want Iran to have a free government, and we can dislike Iran. We can want Iran to have a free government, and want them to have a republic, and want them to have a democracy, and want them to have all these things. We can say fuck that monarchy and fuck the theocracy regime. We can say fuck all of it. It doesn't change a goddamn thing. All we're asking you is, why are you not holding Iran or any other country to the same standard that you're holding America to? Because what you're giving us right now is whoever has the biggest gun gets to kill whoever they want, and that's not fucking justice.
You're strong-arming the conversation. You won't let me lead past this because I will tell you.
You're not answering a question.
Hold on, I'm muting Peter for a second. Why is it these motherfuckers can't understand staying logically consistent?
It's so boring.
It's so mind-blowing here. They're like, you're strong-arming me. No, we're trying to hold you to the shit you say. If you say it, stick by it. Don't be a coward. There's nothing me and Forrest have said this entire show that we don't stand by 100%. But you are refusing to stand by your own words. So the question again is, let's take, I don't know, let's take a country with nukes, right? Let's take Korea. Let's take both nations, both South and North. During the Korean War, America killed millions of Korean civilians. Millions of them. Quite literally millions. Does North Korea, are they justified in nuking us because we killed millions of their civilians?
Listen, if they do it, they know the consequences of it. They have the right to do it.
God damn, you can't answer the fucking question. Peter, that's not the question I asked you. That's not the question I asked you. Stop being a fucking coward. Stop being a coward. God damn, this shit is so annoying.
They have the right. They have the right to do it. They have the right to do it. You're like, why can't you accept it? Okay, they have the right.
So according to you, Peter, America shouldn't exist. Because all of these countries
decided it shouldn't, that's what's on the table. It's a war. There's no fucking rules in war. The only rules in war is who's the good side, who's the bad side.
You think there's no rules in war?
There's no rules to war when Russia's been slaughtering Ukraine for the past fucking 4 years since Biden's been in office. How many people have been getting killed in Ukraine? But that's what happens in war. When a country wants to power arm another country, they have the upper hand. You guys don't understand that.
If there's no rules in war and it's just whoever's big, then where do we get the concept of war crimes?
Are things. Yeah, war crimes are things, but I'm saying there's no rules on when do I get to attack you. You could just
there can't be war crimes if there's no rules in war, Peter.
That's the whole thing.
Peter, you can't have war crimes if there's no rules in war.
Can I ask a question, sir? Okay. Can you just be an adult? If Russia was going to go send an invitation to Ukraine and say this is a boxing match where you got to meet up on August 15th? Or did they just show up when they were tanked? Because there's no fucking rules. When you want to take over, you take over.
21 seconds.
Peter, you are literally missing what the rules are. Is it right to bomb civilian infrastructure? Like if somebody wants to bomb, say, for example, a hospital.
Never civilians.
Right,
never civilians.
Because that's a rule, right? That's a rule in war that we have, and it's a crime to violate that rule. So not telling someone when you're going to attack their country isn't an argument against rules in war or law, international law or anything like that. That's not what that is.
Okay. No, you're right. It's not if you start the war, you're not allowed to kill civilians. But you also, like I said, why I'm saying there's no rules.
That wasn't my point.
In the context, I understand. I agree with your point. You cannot kill civilians. That's a war crime. The IRGC.
If you agreed with my point, you would backtrack on what you said, because what I just said was a direct contradiction of your point that there are no big rules in war and it just happens whatever.
No,
your argument was there's no rules in war and they don't tell people when they're going to attack. They just attack. That's not an example of a war crime.
I don't know why we're acting like the reason. I don't know why we're hold on. I don't know why we're not acting like the reason Iran isn't even in the mess that they're in right now is because the U.S. did a coup in the 50s. Like I don't know why we're acting like that's not like directly responsible for. No,
not to mention the fact. Not to mention the fact
that was the United States and the UK.
Not to mention the fact. Not to
that was
mention the
the
fact
United States and the UK.
Not to mention
that
the
was
fact
the
Peter, that
United
we
States
had a
and the
nuclear
UK.
deal. We had a nuclear deal. Peter, not to mention the fact. Not to mention the fact we had a nuclear deal. We had a nuclear deal which was preventing this shit, and then Trump ripped that deal up and then bombed them and said we have eliminated their nuclear power plants and all the nuclear production, completely obliterated. They'll never come back. And then a few months later, we're now in a war with them to stop them from attacking America. So again and again and again, this isn't Iran's problem.
I don't even know
what
we're doing because he doesn't even know the history of his own fucking country.
No, his mom's from there. It's okay.
I know the history. I know the history.
No, you don't.
Let me ask you this.
You said it was fucking France.
Okay, listen. Stop. Yes, France got involved when they lost the war with Germany. You stupid idiot. They had
the CIA, the United States Central Intelligence Agency, literally admits that they were at the head of the coup in 1953 in Iran. Goodbye.
This guy doesn't.
I really want to talk to line maybe 5 and or like
we have 3 more
and
calls
52.
in 30 minutes, so we gotta get somebody else.
Yeah,
how do you our CIA admits we did the coup.
They don't understand. His mom's from there, Jovan.
Brother, take whichever call you want.
All right, I'm gonna do I mean, 52 sounds nice, so I'm gonna do 49 first. Richard, who just it just says right in terms of like political affiliation. It just says right, so we'll see what that means. Richard, you're on the whatever this show is, the Forrest and Jovan. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm all right, Richard.
Can you hear me all
really
right?
quick. First of all, yes, I can. How old are you, Richard?
31.
All right, and are you driving right now?
I am.
Okay, we cannot take your call if you're driving. Can you pull over while you talk to us?
I can't do hands-free device.
No, it's because when people get on the show, they get all agitated and they start talking real loud sometimes. It's a policy thing that keeps us from liability. So I'm sorry, I can't. I wanted to take your call, but now I'm hearing that, and that is a long-standing issue on this line. Is there any way you can pull over? If not, I can't take the call. I'm sorry.
Also, that wind is crazy.
The wind is awful.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, unfortunately, where I'm at, I'm on the freeway, and I'm on a one-lane
That's okay.
construction, so no, I can't pull over.
That's okay. If you want, Richard, I'm hosting on the other... Are you familiar with the channel The Line? Because this is Jimmy Snow on The Line, and then we have the other channel that's just called The Line.
No, I legitimately was just doom scrolling, and before I got on the road, and
Gotcha.
I saw you, and I just laughed at some of the inconsistently how inconsistent the logic of a lot of the callers are that were calling in. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents, but.
I really want to talk to you, Richard. We can't do it. So if you want to talk to me later on, I'm hosting, we have another channel. It's just called The Line. It's super easy to find. We do live streams all the time. I'm hosting almost every single Sunday over there. And on Monday, the 20th, we're doing a special long science show where me and another biologist are taking calls. I would love to talk to you. Please call in one of those whenever you're not driving, okay?
Okay. And I specifically do want to talk about this because I think there's points that some of the other callers completely missed when you're grilling them on certain issues, and I definitely have an answer for you. So, all right,
I would love that.
Guys, have a good rest of your evening.
I would love to do that. Call a show called Skep Talk on Monday, the 20th. It starts at 6 p.m. Central on a channel called The Line. It is a longer show, all science focused. We take the calls longer. It's a lot less combative. I would love to talk to you over there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Damn. Okay, we're going to try this next one. Let's talk to Sam, who also wants to talk about trans people. Sam, you are now on this show with Forrest and Jovan. How you doing?
Hi, doing good. Okay, so real quick, he, him. I am 22. I'm from California. I'm Democratic. There's the intro. I'm at home right now at my computer. To start with my questions, in the screening call, they really answered the first one. They just said that you guys were atheists. That's cool. I just want to ask about what your beliefs were, because when I was also doom scrolling, came around here 3 to 4 callers ago, I jumped in when it was about God being evil, and I was wondering if you believed in a God before the screen call, because I didn't know. I was wondering if you believed in a God, but he's evil, as opposed to thinking that Christianity's God is evil or other gods in general, you know? At the end of the day, it's just humans trying to manipulate each other, and it was really potent 3,000 years ago, but now the cracks are showing so much because the current generation and the past few generations don't even know how to use religion properly as a manipulation tool, because they just insert their opinion and then put religion at the end of it, and it's really sloppy.
Okay.
But yeah.
So what is your question that you wanted to talk to us about?
The second one was for trans people. I want you to take this as simply as possible without assuming any stances from the question, because I just want to know what you meant in your title when you said being anti-trans is being anti-science, because I thought that gender is a social construct, so I was confused on how a social construct could be scientifically correct or incorrect.
Well, so it is a social construct, but that doesn't mean that it isn't based in any kind of reality. The things that do social constructs are biological things, and that's why biology is 100% on the side of trans people. Literally, basic biology textbooks at this point explain the difference between sex and gender. The fact of the matter is, sex and gender are different things, and they're not always congruent. Therefore, trans people are valid in their identities, and that is the general consensus in biology, sociology, anthropology, psychology, and biomedical sciences at this moment. Therefore, if you are anti-trans, you are anti the scientific consensus, you are anti the evidence, you are anti the data, you are anti-logic and reason, you are anti-science.
Cool. Yeah, no, I support trans people. I know the titles can't be too long, so I was just wondering what the deal was with that, just because, you know, I just had my own things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know the point of the show is to talk to MAGA people, but I just think that our current political landscape is just so divided, and social media makes it so much worse, that when I see shows like this when I'm scrolling YouTube, I just want my voice to hear, because I don't think I'm a crazy person. I'm just a guy trying to live, make ends meet, and I feel like the world could use less crazy. So yeah, I'll let other people talk in the cube. Just want to give my 2 cents, and yeah, thanks, man.
All right, man. Take care. Bye-bye. Quick and easy call. Which means we have 20 whole minutes for the last one. You'll never guess what it's about. It's about trans people.
Who could guess?
I hope we get to talk about what it means to be trans, because we have V calling in, and I really just genuinely don't give a shit about sports. So this may be all your call, but if we get to talk about the science, then that would be great. V, you're our last caller of the show, probably, and you want to talk about trans people. How are you doing today?
I'm great, man. How are y'all doing?
I'm all right. How old are you, V?
32.
Right on. Perfect. What is your comment, concern, question, whatever? What did you want to talk about today?
Well, I was listening to y'all. I actually popped in on your show, I guess, at a weird time, because y'all were talking about the trans topic. So I was like, is that the topic for today?
We've kind of been all over the place. The main thing was that MAGA in general is anti-science, but we did talk about trans people quite a bit. Happy to do it again.
I agree with that. I'm not really against trans people at all. I'm progressive, even though I'm from Mississippi. I know that's kind of weird hearing it from people, but we're here. My only thing is, you just said that you don't really care about sports. That's
Jovan does. Jovan talks about it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I talk about it, but I don't care about sports enough to separate it. I'm of the belief, throw everyone into the competition and see what happens. I don't even think we should have sports separated by gender. That's boring.
I understand that. Okay. So my only thing is, see, I was an athlete, and I have a lot of male friends and female friends who, you know, went to college, and some are even, you know, in the league. They're not starting on the field anywhere, but they, you know, drafted right when they graduated. So my only thing is that I put myself in, especially the girls' shoes, right? say if, and I'm hesitant about the trans topic because one, I'm one of the people who say I don't think that kids should, do that when you're an adult, but that's a whole nother topic. So following that line of thought, like when the person transitioned, were they playing sports before as a male or as a man? They're always a male. But when they were identifying as a man, competing as a man, training as a man, all of that good stuff, got to like
again,
say 18, 19.
I don't care, Like I genuinely don't give a shit.
But I get that you don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? I get that you don't, but you're not.
I think it's silly. No, I think it's silly for anybody to care. I think if we're saying this is a sport for women, then anyone that's a woman should be able to compete. And if this is a sport for men, anybody who's a man should be able to compete, whether you're trans or cis. Just full stop.
All right. So let's put it like this. This is how I look at it. So abortion rights, right? We're not fighting for abortion rights strictly for, not even for trans women, maybe trans men, but we're not fighting for those for trans women, right? So we're not thinking about them in that aspect. Follow my
that's
logic.
Because only people with wombs can have abortions. So if you don't have a womb,
all right. So so we can focus on hetero women like that, or just cis women. Cis women like that.
Well, no, but it wouldn't be focused on cis women because, like you said, trans men can also get pregnant. So abortion rights protect men as well.
I was about to get there. So cis women and trans men, right? So we can focus on them for that. My thing is, and all of us know somebody who has a womb, if that's how y'all want to put it. So I know women who compete in female sports. And me listening to them, they're not against trans women at all. That's not the point. But when you put your heart and your soul into something and you're making money off of it, and then you're competing now against people who were identifying as a man, training as a man for 20 plus years, and now you're competing against them. That's an issue. And
that's never happened.
I'm a progressive. It's what's never happened.
This idea sorry, I got a cough. This idea that there's some trans athlete that comes in after spending all these years as a male athlete and just dominates the competition doesn't happen. What we actually see is most trans athletes get beaten by cisgender women athletes. So, like, what's the issue?
On the
do you want me to be honest with you? If you want me to be honest with you, even on the collegiate level, I think most cis women that have a problem with trans athletes are doing it because they're not that good. And this is a real easy scapegoat to push
Riley
past
Gaines,
your... Like, Riley Gaines has
was
made...
a decent swimmer, she would have no career right now.
Yeah, Riley Gaines is only making money because she goes around speaking about how much it sucked that she tied for 5th place.
5th place, bro.
Well, first off, I'm not defending Riley. I'm not speaking for Riley.
You're gonna if trans folks are gonna be mad at anybody, be mad at Riley Gaines' trainer. Could have made her a better swimmer. We wouldn't have this fucking problem.
Well, she was. I think Leah Thomas beat her at the national.
They tied for 5th place,
right?
They tied for 5th place.
But wait. That was you. First off, please don't make me defend Riley Gaines. Please don't.
Oh, we know what you want to.
She was at the national. No, I don't. She was at
tied for 5th place.
A national championship. You can't just knock that. That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't matter.
She
tied for 5th place. She's acting like Leah Thomas.
She didn't tie for first.
That means 4 cisgender athletes were able to beat Leah Thomas.
Wait, at that same competition, didn't Leah Thomas overlap girls in a race?
Leah Thomas won
first place.
She won 1 heat. She tied for 5th in the other.
Margin?
She lost, not by not much at all.
Whoa, no, the one I'm talking about, it took easily 30 seconds for them girls to catch up.
No, she did not win by 30 seconds.
How many seconds?
It was like a couple.
It was not a couple.
Yes,
she lapped.
Homie. I'm gonna have to let me break it down for you really quickly, because I guess this is just what we have to do. Leah Thomas, in the 2022 NCAA Division I National Championships, which was the last time she competed as an athlete, all she won was the 500-yard freestyle. That's it. That's the only one she won.
By how much?
Okay.
How many seconds?
Again, by a couple seconds. I'll pull up the exact time for you.
If you
I'll pull up the exact time for you. Right? Yeah, I'll pull up the exact time for you. Okay. So let me pull it up. Forrest.
I'm participating in the only way I know how.
Okay, here we go. The 2022 championship. We're going to the 500. Here we go. She won by 4 minutes and 33 seconds, 4:33.24. The person who came in next, 4:34.99. She won by a second. 34. Not even a full second. She won by a second.
Hold on. Let me look.
I'm literally giving you the... You're going to look and see the exact same thing. This is a useless waste of time. Leah Thomas came in, won the gold at 4:33.24. Then Emma Wyant won the silver at 4:34.99.
Okay, the video that I watched was
nonsense. The video you watched was nonsense.
No.
She didn't outlap.
Hey, bro.
She didn't outlap.
Please don't.
She won by a second. She won by a second.
Maybe in the heat that you're talking about.
That's the only one she won. That's the only one she won. You don't know what you're talking about. She didn't compete in 2020 to 2021 because there was no season, and then she competed in the 2022 NCAA Division I National Championship. She won by a second.
Is that the only competition that she competed in?
It's the only one. That's the only one Riley Gaines also competed in with her.
Because I'm not worried about Riley Gaines. My thing, and trust me, I'm not caping for Riley Gaines. I'm not.
How do we get here? How do we get here?
Is that the only competition she competed in?
She would have competed in qualifying heats, but what does that matter when she in the championship she only win by a second?
Right. So in
the
qualifying
heat,
so in the qualifying heat, did she lap somebody? Did she lap a whole group of girls?
You would have to show us. You would have to find the evidence, because I've given you the evidence for our side.
Okay, so
now you're claiming there's some mythical video about her lapping. There's some mystical video about her lapping people.
And then you said that it would be you.
So find the video. So tell me what the video is. Great. Tell me what the video is.
Bet.
Oh, useless.
Laps. Lap swimmers. All right, so let's see. Hate these damn commercials. All right. Man.
Can't find it?
No, I can't.
I wonder why.
Well, I'm not trying to go against her. I'm just saying that I've seen a video where she lapped she was done swimming and girls had a whole nother lap to go.
You keep saying that, and yet here we are.
Leah Thomas becomes first. Leah speaks out in the locker. Reject the win. Locker room under. Blah blah blah. New record. All right. New record set in women's Ivy League by trans swimmer Leah Thomas. Here we go. Thomas heads in for the final turn. All right. Here we go. So this was at the free.
The free what?
4:37. She finished at 4:37. And the next person finished at 4:44. Hello?
Okay.
Okay. So, like I said,
what?
I believe you said that one of y'all actually cares about the sports stuff.
I'm sorry. What do you think? What do you think? Wait. I'm sorry. What do you think that what you just read proves?
I'm not saying that it proves anything. All right. So were y'all swimmers?
Yes.
Or did y'all compete in any sport?
Not a very good one.
Were you a swimmer?
Yes. Yeah, I was a competitive swimmer. Right? So when I'm saying,
did you ever tie in fifth?
No, I was a pretty good swimmer.
Well, then you could beat Riley Gaines and Leah Thomas.
I've gotten in fifth place. No, I've gotten in fifth place, but all right. So this is all I'm saying. When you're in heats, especially at a national.
Brother, I just want to throw out Leah Thomas didn't set any she didn't set any NCAA records. She didn't set any national records. She didn't set any world records. She set a record at her own university pool.
The title
that was then
of the
beat
video
the next
I just
year.
watched said new record set in women's Ivy League by trans swimmer.
Did you listen to
Leah
anything
Thomas.
the video said? Or are you just taking a headline?
All right, so she didn't set anything. She didn't set a record.
She didn't set any NCAA records. She didn't set any national records. She didn't set any world records.
It said at the Ivy,
and there were multiple
at an Ivy League.
Yeah, she didn't compete. When we're looking at the Ivy League competitions, she won some. She won some records at her own school that were then beaten the next year. She set a record at her own school
in the women's competition. In the women's competition when she was competing in the women's competition. Okay.
At her own school. This wasn't a competition. This was just a record that was set at her own school.
And in a competition that the women were in, correct? It was a female heat, right? The women were all participating in it, right?
And then that record was then beat the next year. She lost the record immediately. The following year. So again, I don't know what you're trying to prove here. We have 3 minutes, and it just seems like you're well, Leah Thomas was this big. She wasn't. She was a decent swimmer that did okay.
She was
comparatively.
She broke a record switching to an all-female sport. You're saying, all right, you're being real flippant. You're being real flippant about something.
No, I'm not being flippant, dude. This is just so stupid. I don't care if people. I personally, I don't give a fuck if people care about this. They should nut up and stop being babies. Whoop-de-doo. Leah Thomas set a record. Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. She set a record. Boo-hoo. It was then broken the next year by a cisgender woman. So boo-hoo for Leah Thomas. She didn't even break swimming records like nationally. The records have been held by like the same person for like the last, what was it? Katie Ledecky has had the record set for fucking ever, and nobody's beaten the record but her. In fact, Leah Thomas's winning time in her 500 meter freestyle or 500 yard freestyle is still slower than Katie Ledecky's record breaking time. So no, this is just so stupid. Like everybody's people are complaining because they don't want to have to fucking work harder. Let's be so for real. Whoopee, trans women are going to compete. Suck it up. Either fucking train and get better, or go be another fucking Riley Gaines. We don't have time for a V. This is the end of the show. Thanks for calling. I don't care.
Yeah, it gets boring so fast because it's like, well, what if they win? Okay. Well, what if they win and they do a really good job? Okay. What are we doing? Fuck, dude. Could not be paid to give more of a damn. I have so many bigger shits to take than caring about, what a trans person might do with a sport ball. It just doesn't fucking matter at all in the grand scheme of things.
For real.
We've got 1 minute left. I've got to go write a lecture on hormones and learning to present to
it's all right. We're at time.
Class.
We're sending you guys over to. We're sending you guys over to Justin. Who is it today? It's Justin and it's Owen. Is it Justin and Owen today?
Yeah,
I think it's Justin and Owen.
Sounds like it.
Go have fun on After Dark with Justin and Owen. Have a good time, guys. Forrest, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun. Trump said that immigrants aren't people, by the way. So he said that illegal immigrants aren't people. He said, you feel bad for those people, but they're not really people, are they? So just remember, we're talking about MAGA and Nazis. That's why. Fuck all of you. Call in next time. I'll be hosting on Sunday back on the main show, and then Monday on Skep Talk.
Is that the one I'm on After Dark with you? I'm on After Dark with you this month. I don't remember which show.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I fucking love. Yeah. We
should
do more shows together more.
Go have fun. Go have fun at After Dark, guys. See ya.
Bye.